Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the old MCU crew. It's Monday. It's a new week. Jesse's excited. That's his excitement. That's it.
Yeah, hi.
Personified.
Wake yourself up. It's the morning here.
That's it? Nothing, no other.
I mean, that's it. I realize that it's probably not the morning everywhere.
Right.
So people are probably, they've been awake forever. And
Yeah.
they're going to be like, it's 3 PM, stupid.
We've been doing this for a while, Jesse. Yeah.
Like,
they've been up.
But in my part of the world, it's 9 a.m. And sometimes you got to wake yourself up.
It's true. It's not 9 a.m.
Very true. Yeah, it is.
It is 9 a.m. Holy shit, I make you guys get up early.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Thanks for being considerate.
Yeah. Well, hey, you guys agreed to it. I was considerate. You agreed to it, and now we're here.
I mean, agreed is a relative term.
Considerate. I make up words, okay?
Considerate is considerate.
Is that
what you mean?
That's Texan, where I just combine a bunch of words. I can combine consider and it, and it's considerate. You know?
Considerate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if I say crown
games
as a drawing tool, it's like a crown, right? Like you guys are gonna think that's not correct at all, but that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is.
Agreed.
A drawing tool?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Crown.
Do you mean crayon?
Yeah, crown.
That's kind of adorable, but also that's my brain.
Trust me.
Just established it's 9 a.m. I was like, how do you draw with a crown?
It's true. My wife makes fun of me every day for it. So it's just how I live. All right. I'm a simple man.
Wait, how do you say oil?
Oil? Is that what you said?
Oh, it's a little bit. Yeah,
oil. It's oil. I say that, I think, standard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we got to do some rankings. Before we get into that, though, we do have a tiny bit of news. Before we get into that, how are you guys doing? How was the weekend? How'd everything go? Did you see that Batman trailer? We could talk about that Batman trailer if you'd like on the MCU crew.
Oh, man.
It's pretty good.
I was very hyped, and I was very, almost defensive about it.
Defensive? You? No.
Well, okay.
See, you're defensive about that.
Sometimes people be given the patents and shit over Twilight.
Oh, fuck that. Twilight's great. That's a great film.
Have they not
seen
Lighthouse?
No, it is terrible.
No, it's great.
Have they not seen Lighthouse? He's done so much shit since then that should not be held against him. Tenet and Lighthouse should absolve him of the sin.
He's great.
He's great. He's a great actor.
Look, he's great.
Twilight
sucks, but there's other great actors who've been in shitty movies.
Jesse, when was the last time you saw Twilight?
Me?
Yeah. When it came out?
I've never...
You never watched
more
it?
Than 20 minutes of it because it's just so bad.
You need to. It's all on Netflix.
I've even for the internet read some of Twilight, and I'm gonna tell you, not great. It is actually quite terrible.
You should watch all the movies. Tweet it out.
No, I won't.
Get your opinion out there. Be informed.
No, my opinion exists. I don't need to be informed on this.
Yeah. Well, the trailer was great. I thought it was a fantastic trailer. I do wonder though, if this turns into a trilogy, by the end of this, are we going to be tired of the gritty Batman, the dark and scurry Batman? Are we going to have to go back?
Depends on how they do it, right? Because I think the rumor is that this is like a gritty ass mystery.
Yeah,
and
it's like 7.
It's not. Yeah, it's not going to be like, watch out! I'm
comic
all
booky.
The time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if they
superhero, I should say.
If they keep, genre bending, I think that's super fun. Taking it to a different level, doing different things with it, then they can keep making movies like this all damn day, and I'll be fine.
That's true. That's true. I thought for me, I thought the Flash trailer was more interesting than the Batman trailer.
Well, that's because the Flash trailer is like, do you remember when? And you're like, I do remember when.
Yeah. I was born in 86. Sorry, my dog has decided to come in here and chase the cat, which makes for a really fun production. I was born the year that movie came out. That movie came out in 86. It's a great movie.
I don't remember if I saw it.
I think it was
no way I saw it in the theater, right? In 86, I would have been too young. But like maybe my parents had no. Maybe the 80s was different. My parents didn't like. I know I've obviously seen the first Batman movie. Are you sure it wasn't Batman 89?
Maybe it was 89. What was 86?
89 is. I definitely would have seen it in a theater then.
Let me see here. I'll do
It's
the
89.
research.
It's Batman 89. There's no way it's 86. It's Batman 89.
Yeah, it was 89. You're right. You're right.
All right, I was about to say there's no way.
What came out in 86 then? Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Oh, there was a video game that came out in 86. Didn't know that.
Interesting. Yeah, no. Batman 89. Now that I remember seeing that in a theater and not understanding half of what was going on.
Right. It was kind of a
Most of it is
scary
like-
movie.
It's also a lot of dirty jokes.
Yeah.
Things that I'm sure a kid wouldn't get.
Yeah.
I didn't get it. But I did think seeing the Joker on screen was cool.
True. Maybe one of the best portrayals as well.
I mean, there's only so
Arguably.
many.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
There's only so many.
There's a decent amount.
Up till that point, there was the only other portrayal of the Joker was
Adam
dude
West
with
Joker.
the mustache.
Yeah. I don't know
Joker
that
who had the
actor's name.
mustache.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bronze, do you have an affinity for 89 Batman as we've now discovered? The Keaton and the Jack Nicholson? One's the golfer, one's the comedian. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nicholas
a
versus
little
Nicholson.
bit. A little bit. I think for me, the first Batman that I like really fell in love with was the one with Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman, and then Penguin.
Wasn't that also Keaton?
It was also
Yeah.
Keaton,
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
just
yeah.
Cool.
it was
Yeah.
it was not the
It
first
is
movie.
a very bronze film. I agree.
I don't know what
The
that
one with
means.
Catwoman?
Yeah. Oh,
Why is that
come
a
on.
bronze film?
We all know because it's a. Think about what's in that movie. You got a man who like lives with penguins that have rockets.
Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
Okay,
You got
yeah.
a lady who like carries around a whip and progressively loses clothes as the movie goes on.
True.
Batman has like a weird story arc about Christmas. Like, let me remind you, the movie takes place over Christmas,
Right.
and a man is electrocuted
Right.
with like to the point where his hair goes like, yeah, it is crazy.
I will
And
always
I'm like-
remember the electrocution scene, and I will always remember Danny DeVito eating raw fish, and while like in a weird pajama get up thing.
I'll remember the penguins burying Danny DeVito, giving him a water.
That's
grave.
also true. They carry
The
him.
penguins.
That's right. They fucking
Literally
carry him.
funeral procession. Danny DeVito. It's
But that's so
crazy.
good.
This movie.
That's
Oh
so
my
good.
God.
Crazy.
We're talking about
It's like a
comic
gr-
books.
I mean, it's a wild movie. It's a wild film. It's
It is.
definitely a bronze
I just
film.
love how they did not at any point strive for realism in that film.
No, not at all.
No.
There's not a single point where they were like, guys, is this going a little over the top? They were like, no, it's Batman. It's got to be ridiculous.
And then they
And then they
just
went
stuck
there.
with it. Then they were like, for the next movie, what if we get literal Ace Ventura to play Ace Ventura, but we just call him the Riddler? And at the same time, Chris O'Donnell, famed movie star Chris O'Donnell, is Robin. And then, like, Tommy Lee
He
Jones.
was popular at that time, and I don't know
Everyone
why.
was popular at that time in that movie.
What a Tommy Lee Jones plays Two-Face, and the goof they went with is that Two-Face is boning down with two ladies at the same time, and one lady is like the evil lady, and one lady is Drew Barrymore. It's crazy. What a wild! I can't believe that's a movie.
It's a wild one. They got a little loose there in the late 90s with the super.
The plot is he sucks people's brains through TVs.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, with like a
Find
giant,
Batman.
with like a
It's insane.
suction
It's-
cup antenna thing. It was great.
It's insane.
Yeah, all I remember from that movie, honestly, was wasn't that Nipplegate? One of the famous Nipplegates on the suit.
No,
That was later?
Nipplegate
Was that
is-
Mr. Freeze?
Is the next one where they do the like turn shots
Yeah,
and George Clooney, Batman, in this
Right.
one has nipples, and they do like dick shots and nipple shots, and then they show like Alicia Silverstone, who's for some reason like in the movie, and they said, who are we gonna get to play the genius scientist whose wife is frozen? Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then we're gonna hire Uma Thurman to play like a 1950s villain in this movie, where she's like, "Hello, boys, come up and see me sometime." And you're like,
It's
"What
great.
the shit?" They have a Batman credit card that they actually promote in the movie. It is
wild.
It is a thing. I will say though,
Might
shout
have to
out
watch
to
those.
the like underling villains who are like painted in like glow in the dark paint.
Oh
I
yeah.
always love that. I don't know why. Like the goons are like, we're painted in glow in the dark paint. And that's our gang thing. It's like, yeah, you know what? That's pretty cool. That's
Yeah.
a cool gang. I think that's in Batman Forever, but whatever one. I think
it was.
I like
Doesn't
those guys.
Uma Thurman keep Bane as like a pet?
Yep.
Is that
Yes.
that one?
Yes.
And then at the end, he gets like his juice like disconnected, and
And
he
he
like
gets real
shrivels up. He's
crazy.
like, ah!
Oh,
And he becomes
yeah.
like a little tiny scrawny guy. Yeah, because Bane was always a little tiny.
He
Scrawny
was always
guy.
a little small, a little short.
Yeah.
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 He was
As
wider than he was taller. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
That's just how it
Yeah.
goes.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, jumping back over to the MCU, a little bit of news. Hey, they confirmed Will Poulter is Adam Warlock like an hour after our show last week. So
Yeah, pretty much we're breaking news.
we were
the
breaking news. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we kind of already talked about that. The big story of the day we'll get to here with after these small little stories. Apparently Tom Holland is not sure, or at least this headline is that he's casting doubt on if he'll return as Spider-Man after the next film. They talked about during the filming of the current movie that the like trio, Zendaya and unfortunately the other actor's name who I forget, who plays Ned, basically we're filming a lot of scenes throughout that movie as if it were their last time working together on that kind of trilogy. So we'll see. I don't know. They could wrap it up and maybe usher in a new Spider-Man, or just stop using the character altogether so they stop paying Sony. I don't know.
What an incredibly fun story an agent put out there to get more money for Tom Holland on the next negotiation. Absolutely.
Could be the case.
There's no way. Like, this is the biggest. Look, let's be real. Tom Holland's going to be like, I'm in Uncharted. Okay. But, like, come on. You're Spider-Man. You're international Spider-Man. There's absolutely no way you would forego that. That's so much money and so much fame. You're out of your mind. Out of your mind.
He's been doing it for 5 years, though.
Though. I was going to say, that's not the case with everyone. You know what I mean? Like, for some people, the whole reason they do a big trilogy or a big film is that so that they can then go do
Smaller
more
stuff.
artsy, cool, unique projects the way Daniel Radcliffe did. So just because a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm going to make millions of dollars and get tons of fame. There's other people that are like, I'm going to do the Harry Potter trilogy so then I can go do the stuff I actually want to make.
Did you think Harry Potter was a trilogy?
Trick question.
What?
You realize how many movies? Like, there's a difference between 3
I
and
never
then
watched
the
all
many
of them.
movies of Harry Potter.
There's 7. 8?
But the point remains that he did those movies and then went.
Difference, though.
Why? It's a series. It's a franchise. And I'm
Doing
sure
8 of a movie versus 3 of a movie. Like, if he had done 8 Spider-Mans, I'd be like, yeah, no, spread your wings, boy, fly. Go do what you got to do. But a trilogy that is connected to all of Marvel, there's no, I mean, like, I will concede.
I don't think Marvel wants to let him go, but I'm sure he's made so many millions, like, he might not care. I don't think it's fair to be like, there's no way he'd leave. I'm just saying he might be like, well, I'm set. I might as well go make the shit I want to make.
Right, but I feel like as an actor who takes on a role such as Spider-Man, while there may not be any more Spider-Man movies with him, I think him leaving Marvel is irresponsible to the fandom. And that's just a personal thing where, like, if you take on a role, you are now part of that. And you being like, bye, never want to do this again. You know, I think that's incredibly selfish. Because it's bigger than you now. And so you can show up in other movies, that's fine. If you don't want to do any more, if you don't want to do any more Spider-Man movies, that's fine. Right? But you should at least be in like the other Marvel films. And I know that's probably
like he's a young actor with his whole life ahead of him, and he's given us like if he gives us 2 or 3 movies, I think he's done what he needs to do. Like I don't think he owes the fandom shit.
then I mean, I
sorry.
don't know. I feel like that's the opinion of a person who is thinking about him as a human being, and all I'm thinking about
Yes,
is
because
where are
he
my Spider-Man
is.
movies. Yeah, I don't. I'm not all right with that.
Man, this is a hard choice here. Like, do I go with Jesse as the fan, or do
I'm not all right with that.
with Bronze as the
He's
human?
a young, talented actor. I cannot assume that he wants to do this forever. And I'm not saying that, oh, I hope he leaves after this last film, after this next film, but he has done 3 Spider-Mans, 2 Avenger films, and Civil War. And if he were to be like, I think I've done my 3 movies, I would like to go do something else and maybe just do cameos in the MCU, like that should be his right. Like
Oh, well,
he's
that's
young
different.
and he's
That's
famous.
if
And
he
should take every
if he shows up
opportunity
in
he
other
gets.
MCU films, that's different. If he's still a part of it, that's fine. But if he walks away, I think that's disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful.
He gave you 3 movies.
I think that he shouldn't have taken the role
If
of
he wasn't
Spider-Man.
locked in for that many years.
If he's a young actor who is leading the way for Phase 4, and he can't stick around for Phase 4, disrespectful. Just saying. Point of pride, I would go out of my way to be a part of it. Maybe I'm just a better person than Tom Holland. Maybe I care more about what other people think. And I want to please fans. And I want people to be like, I'm proud of you.
He isn't
Maybe
leaving
I'm just better.
for sure. He isn't leaving for sure. So let's not say he's a bad person because he hasn't said, I'm leaving and fuck these people, right?
I think he's a terrible person.
We're just speculating.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying is what a terrible person Tom Holland is.
This is, I've always had an axe to grind with Tom Holland. I'm with Jesse. We were going to do something together once, not even joking, and then he backed out last minute. So, I was this close, you guys, and he backed out last second.
Yeah, and he doesn't even mean like a show or anything. JP's literally talking about they're about to do something.
That's true.
He backed out last.
That's true.
They're about to. One time they're about to smooch, and he backed out last minute. Tom Holland, why are you a coward? Why can't you smooch JP?
Yeah.
I'm starting it right now. The MCU crew officially has beef with Tom Holland.
It's true, except for Bronze.
Come on our show unless you're a coward, Tom.
I'm not a part of this, Tom.
I'm about to get an email from his agent.
I'm not a part of this.
She's gonna like ring up an email from 2 years ago. You starting beef, motherfucker? I will end you. Oh my god.
No, I'm joking. It literally does not matter what Tom Holland does. I wish him the best. It's fine. Whatever. It's just movies. It doesn't care. However, if I was Spider-Man, not only would it be a terrible movie, but I would stick around. I'd be terrible in every single time
10
they
years,
asked.
20 years. Yeah.
I'd be there. I'd be Spider-Man at 75. Like, come on. Let's go, young Avengers.
And I mean, you do have actors like that. Like Hiddleston has basically said that he wants to do this as long as he can.
Yeah.
But
True.
There are other actors that didn't really have a huge career before, and then they booked this, and then they have to spend the next 10 years turning down crazy movie roles because now they're Thor or whatever.
Yeah.
And on some level, it's like, well, shit, now I have all the money, I have the fame, I have all the opportunities, and I can't take any of them. I kind of just have to sit here and wait, It's
true.
I gotta say, like, I feel that way about
that fame must suck.
my most controversial opinion on the show, some Hotel Bronze levels of controversy, is that like
she's back.
I know, right? I love Taika, but I do kind of hate that he's the de facto MCU director now because I liked Taika from What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilder People. And I don't know the next time we're going to get one of these cute little movies that were so heartwarming and so well written because we're going to keep getting.
This is Hotel Bronze right here.
What? Why is that Hotel?
I got to figure out what the shade is here. It
why
wasn't.
is Hotel
I couldn't
Bronze
I couldn't find red.
Thanos?
I couldn't.
Why did you?
I mean,
Thanos
maybe she's
bronze?
Thanos. Maybe she's Thanos. What if it just
Why?
gets
I
real
hate
dark?
that.
What if it just gets real
Oh
dark?
yeah.
in there?
Oh shit. That's the one.
That's it.
Now,
Okay,
if you could,
Hotel
like,
Bronze.
say some really spicy hot takes.
All right, Bronze.
This would be it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Hotel Bronze.
Yeah, and it's not about being a hipster because those movies aren't even niche. Just because you're uncultured doesn't make me a hipster, all right? We're going to go full Hotel Bronze here. But, you know, I think Taika's style is those quirky little comedy movies. And although I love what he did with Ragnarok, on some other level, I want to see him make his movies. He's not just a director, he's a writer and a director. And I want to see him make his projects.
Sure.
As opposed to just making the MCU projects that are like writing within someone else's confines. It makes it a lot harder to write like that, okay? And so I you know, I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of him. And I don't want him to get locked into these big, huge budget movies that are mainstream, kind of like, how to describe it, blockbuster, summer blockbuster films when he's freaking hilarious dude. And I want to see him make more comedy shit. And I want to see him make more stuff that falls in line with what, you know, his vision is.
It's true. Someone in the chat, by the way, has dubbed you Hoteligar Bronze again when you're in this. So.
I mean, I'm here
It's
for
fitting.
it.
Yeah,
It's fitting because it's
I
terrible.
mean, I feel like with this filtered, Marvel should cast me as some type of villain. I mean, I'm Middle Eastern, so they might as well, honestly.
That time, I'm so sorry. You can no longer be in Iron Man 1. My apologies.
I know
I'm
that
so
dude was
sorry.
speaking Hindi anyway.
So sorry.
Everyone's like, "Oh, look at this Arabic Tom Morello," and I was like, "Bro, that's Hindi. This guy's speaking Hindi."
Oh, that's Tom Morello. That's famed bassist Tom Morello.
yeah.
Bassist?
Yeah.
Guitarist.
Speaking Arabic in the
Guitarist.
desert.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. A lot can change. The movie's not even out yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of, probably, I guess, a year. The big story of the day, at least breaking here on Monday, is that Marvel has shifted some movies around. So Doctor Strange 2 is now set to launch in the summer of 2022. Thor Love and Thunder
May
are heading...
23rd, I believe.
Yeah, I have the proper dates here. I'm reading the headline.
All I'm saying is my birthday's the 18th.
Oh, okay.
What if we
maybe do a live
together,
episode or something?
Get funky monkey, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what that means in the grand scheme of things, but yeah, we'll watch the movie together.
I'm with JP. What is funky monkey?
Let's not.
We get funky monkey. You know what I'm saying.
I don't know if we can get into that here. Thor Love and Thunder is now the back half of the summer in July. They kind of shifted everything. I don't know, I don't know if this had to do with the potential writer strike that was, or not writer strike, but really Hollywood
everything
strike.
from Disney got pushed. Everything.
Yeah. Did they say
so
why,
all Disney
though?
movies got? I have no clue, but everything got pushed back.
So we got Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness on May 6th instead of March 25th. And then Thor Love and Thunder is now July 8th. And then Black Panther Wakanda Forever is now November 11th. And I think that's... So it pushed everything. So now Ant-Man and the Wasp is now July 28th, 2023.
And that was moved from February 2023.
Right.
Yeah.
The only movie that's actually still keeping its date is Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is set to launch May 5th, 2023.
Mm-hmm. They also said, and this is important, everyone. This is very important. They also said the next Indiana Jones movie is now June 2023, and Avatar still expected by the end of 2022, with movies going all the way through 2028. So just, for all those big Avatar fans out there, you're still going to have your movies from 2022 to 2028. A whole 4 Avatar movies. Prepare yourself. Avatar fans, this is your time. So strap into your Avatar suits.
It's weird.
Jack into Pandora. Fly on your dino birds. And get ready to fight against the establishment.
It's a weird.
That's all I remember from that movie.
It's a weird one.
I can't believe that we're getting 4 of those.
Did you go on the ride?
Happening.
Have you been at that? I don't want to spend too long. Have you gone on that ride at?
No,
It's great. It's fantastic. It's 10 out of 10.
Is it Disney World?
Yeah. It's. I waited on Thanksgiving Day for 3.5 hours in line.
Last
for
time I
that
was at
ride.
Disney World, I was 6, so I have no knowledge of Disney World.
It's great. They redid. They have like giant floating islands, and the way that they like in the park, the way they did that is by like masking the steel beams that hold it with vines, so it doesn't look like they're steel beams at all. They just look like vines that are then holding up and draping off these 2 giant islands up in the sky that you like walk underneath. It's wild looking. You should definitely try to go sometime, because they did a good job with that park.
Well,
I don't understand why that's getting 2 more movies though, or 4 more movies, or
2. It's getting way too many movies. Look,
yeah, it's wild.
I can't. It's been too long. It's been
Yeah.
so long. I don't understand where the market is for this. But here's the thing:
The rest of the
I
world,
didn't understand
I
where
think.
the market. Yeah, I guess
It's big. Yeah, it's
tell
a
me they're-
worldwide hit. It's big.
people clamoring for more Adventures in Pandora. Get out of town.
It's been too
I can't
long.
believe it.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
It is. There's also some untitled Marvel movies. There's an untitled Marvel movie that's moving from November 10th, 2023 to November 3rd, 2023. And they also
You mean Fantastic Four?
maybe. They also got rid of a live action title that was going to be on July 14th, 2023 from the schedule, as well as an untitled Marvel movie that was going to premiere on October 6th, 2023. Those are no longer on the schedule. So I don't know what those are. But they're gone. Yeah.
This is because of the IATSE strike, right?
I don't know if it has, because like that they came to an agreement, but now I believe someone in chat gave me kind of the long story on there. The union members have to ratify the deal. It's not really clear why the delays are occurring. But there are some rumors saying that it's because of big reshoots for Doctor Strange. Some are also saying that the new union agreement might be causing production delays due to less hours on the set or something like that. I'm not necessarily certain why all that. It is a little bit coincidental, though, that the news fell today, right around the time that those deals were made for the unions. I think this over the weekend or on Friday. So we'll probably never know, but those are the dates. And it's fine. I think we're still spoiled for content, right? There's still a shit ton of Disney Plus shows coming out and all that type of stuff.
And like when I was looking into it, the long hours on set, you often being a Lord of the Rings fan, oftentimes we talk about how long John Rhys Davies spent sitting in the makeup chair, getting ready to play Gimli. But we seldom talk about how long the makeup artist sat there and prepped and made prosthetics for each and every one of these actors. Like, because they just sit there for 10 hours, but you have someone else standing for 10 hours applying those prosthetics. And so that's essentially the people who are striking. And I was reading stories of them talking about how, like, if they need like a specialized like product or something like that, oftentimes they would be on set so long, like they would drive home, have to grab something, come back, and like be falling asleep like at the wheel because they've been on set for like 14 hours. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Like nobody should have to do that for a job. That's crazy. Yeah. So I mean, just pay them more.
Yeah, no, they
Well, I think-
totally deserve it. That shit's crazy. It
I
absolutely
think the
is
big
crazy.
sticking point at the moment is that, at least from what I saw in tweets this week, that apparently the agreed upon terms were 3%, but with inflation, it's like it should be 5 or 6%. And so I don't know if they have a deal, but again, the unions have to ratify it. And I'm sure a lot of members are like, bro,
What are you
you
doing?
got us like half of what we need. So
that's what I saw last night. So I don't know if the union members are going to ratify it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm sure that news will come out today or tomorrow, and then we'll see where.
Usually
we're at
right
there.
after the show.
Yeah, the news hour, aka when MCU Crew ends.
Yeah,
they come to the show, they get all the insider information, they make their opinion, and then when we go off air, they launch their opinion and their statement.
Right.
That's how it goes
every time.
Yeah. I think it's time.
I'm almost.
After Bronze's hot take. Hotel Bronze? Is this Hotel Bronze take?
No. I was just thinking.
Okay. All right. We're thinking.
I almost wonder, like, sorry, I was just how big do you think the team is for makeup on a Marvel film? I'm assuming
Probably fucking huge.
massive,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, you could probably find out if you go look at the credits. They probably have everyone listed on like makeup, most likely.
That's so many people. Like,
Yeah.
and I guess like because the credits, I'm usually paying attention to the posting credit.
Right, you're waiting.
I
Yeah.
gotta be completely honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never sat there and actually looked at how big like the makeup and costuming department is because I'm like, what do you think the posting credit's gonna be? What is
Right.
it gonna be this time? Which is actually very clever of Marvel because they get you to sit through the credits because you're waiting for that post credit scene.
Exactly. 100%
But
correct.
I'm like, oh my gosh, on a project like any of them honestly, but on a project like Guardians, oh my god, that's so much prosthetic makeup, airbrushing,
Well, even just the
like
prop team on something like
my
Guardians,
God.
like that. You think back to like the collector room; those are probably all real props. Like a large portion of them were real props, right? And that would probably. I'll randomly have the immersion breaking moment when I'm like watching a film, and like someone will pull out a scrapbook or like a photo book. And they're like flipping through like, 5 or 6 pages of all these photos. And I was like, wait, someone had to make this fucking photo book. That's like 3 hours of work for just like a 30-second, not even a 3-second scene where someone's holding a photo book. That's just like so much hours into that.
I cannot stress the when we did our YouTube Red show, the whole thing took place inside an apartment. And so the vast majority of the pre-set work was people coming in and being like, what would be in this apartment? Like these characters, and we'd have to sit there and be like, holy shit, what would be in this apartment? And we literally had to like go around and dig through bins and bins of props and figure out exactly what was down to magnets on the fridge.
Yep.
It's a lot of work.
Because idiots like us will be like, is that Mephisto?
Exactly. But they do that stuff. They're very good at leaving little clues and things. And but also at the same time, someone had a sticker that we thought was really funny, so we just put it on the fridge because whatever. And it has nothing to do. We're just like, that's what made us laugh. So we'll, it's tough work. A lot of really talented people, set dressers. It's like a thing.
Oh yeah.
Like you gotta be the person who like dresses the set. Wild.
Every little thing requires like an artist's touch too. So like, my friend's husband did the art for. There's like a scene in What We Do in the Shadows where a certain character beheads another one, and there's an art piece that goes with it. Like he did that art piece, and then that made me think about that. I was like, oh my god, there has to be somebody that goes through and draws like these like throwbacks and Easter eggs and does all of that. We probably sound very silly right now being like, oh, it's so much work that goes into a movie. But movies and video games are seriously so much hard work to make.
It's
you
crazy.
Never think about it because it comes off so but here's the thing. That's the perception of everything.
Then it's always
this industry and all of it. Yeah. Really anything where you see the final product and you just assume like, wow, even when you see like the buffest, swollest dude like Instagramming his like flex, you're ignoring the years it took of hard work for him to get there and eating, like, I'll be real, the most boring, like, I had same oatmeal I had
Yeah.
every
Chicken
day
a
for
la
the last
bland.
800 days. Yeah. Like, the sacrifice. I never look.
It's a
There's a
lot.
reason I'm fat. You can never be like 800 days of oatmeal. You got it, Jesse. No, I'd be like, look, it's I'm all right.
It's true.
I'm good. Have you heard of bacon? Because that shit's great.
Bacon's pretty good. It turns out.
Well, I know, like, people were kind of like joking about saying that, like, oh, without writer's assistants, like, writers will have to keep their own notes, and people were like laughing. But I was like, yo, have you ever ran a D&D campaign? Like, I wish
Yeah.
I had a writer's assistant to sit and keep all the notes, because they will put a callback in to something that you wrote in episode 1 6 seasons ago. Like, they are literally why continuity exists.
Totally.
I've been sitting here like, somebody needs to get George R.R. Martin a writer's assistant to go through his stuff and be like, this is what you need to do.
He'd have to write something though, Bronze. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my. Well, there's another enemy of the show now. Tom Holland and George R.R.
We're
Martin.
making them today.
No,
when
that
you
man
have
deserves all the
Fuck
he
'em.
deserves it. Yeah. George
When
R.
you
R.
have
Martin,
these, like, yeah, where's the Hotel JP filter?
I don't know. I think that's just me. I think I don't get to
can we
give
get
hot
a can we
takes.
get a can we get a JP hotel filter, please?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here.
Please,
Let's see
I
here.
need
What do
that.
we do?
I need
Let me do this, and
I'm gonna need that filter.
we do this, and then what? That just I'm so pale that it like.
No, here we go. Oh shit! That looks like the poster to the movie Mandy. Oh my god! Will your eyeballs? It's
Yeah,
terrifying.
you gotta stare at the camera and hit if the light
my
hits my eyes
God.
exactly right.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
Anyways,
The eyes look so creepy.
it's great. It's great.
I love that.
It worked out.
But
And
you're
then
totally right, Bronze. You're totally right. Like,
just in
even
general.
doing a stream and trying to find like that, like, man, I want to make a clip that I can put on the internet. When did that happen in the last 6 hours? Like, even then, it's a pain in the ass. Like, I would
Mhm.
love it if I had a person who was like, I am the one who watches your stuff and takes notes.
Yes.
you need the watcher.
Imagine, like,
But, like,
I think
cool
I
one.
could edit 100% of my own content, and instead just hire somebody that says, here are the timestamps of all the important cutscenes or all the memorable moments from this gameplay. Like, that is literally half of editing.
Yeah.
Is like understanding timing and what needs to make it to the final cut of a video.
And more importantly, understanding you as a person. So, because there's plenty of times where people have been like, yo, this makes a great clip. And I watch it. I'm like,
It's dog shit.
what are you talking about?
It's
What
dog
was
shit.
funny
Yeah,
about that? What?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's hilarious. I'm like, nothing funny happened there.
Yeah.
Why were you? It's
Mhm.
so bizarre.
Let's
You gotta,
not
then, like-
talk about this. Okay, I don't need my mod team to start unionizing. Okay, let's just move forward here. It's an easy
But,
job.
like, what if they did?
So many people can do it. Okay,
JP Mod Team, we strike at noon.
but it's already it's 2 minutes to noon. Great,
We
fantastic.
strike at noon.
See,
Great.
if you were on the West Coast, you would have 2 hours.
2
but-
hours
Yeah,
to
you could
figure it
prep.
out. Yeah, I'm
You
prep.
can trick them, but
Yeah.
no, that's not. You
Yeah.
can get some strike breakers in here. Hire some scabs.
I'll call up Blizzard and get them in.
Hire
They know
somebody
a
to
few
beat up
people.
poor Barry.
Yeah. We'll just get them in here and break that shit. The other bit of news, well, not necessarily news. I think the news will happen tonight. Is that it's Eternals premiere day. So I will once again, for some dumb reason, probably watch the red carpet, just like I did for Shang-Chi.
Why do you do this?
And then afterwards, I'll report back to you guys on why the fuck did I watch this. I don't know why I do it. There's a weird fascination. Also, funny enough, I actually might be at a red carpet for another thing in the coming weeks, which is exciting because then I'll report to you about that. Maybe
You get to go to a red carpet?
I might. I haven't decided
Where?
yet.
Hold on, where?
In LA,
You're gonna be in LA?
maybe. I haven't decided yet. I would have to
when
get a
you
flight.
decide, let me know. I hate this whole thing, right, friends? who come to LA.
Well, I haven't
and then they're
decided
like,
yet. I would have told
I
you.
don't want to hang out with you. I just want to go to
No.
LA and work.
No.
Like, you are the problem.
It won't even be
That's
to work.
right.
It'll be to support my wife. That's why I would be going.
No, here's the thing. No. All right. Marriage overrated. Jesse?
Well,
Timeless.
it's clearly overrated. 'cause
Imagine
I wouldn't have
going to
anything to do
LA
the next day.
and not having smoky margaritas with Jesse, because I did.
Thank you.
Smoky
you.
margaritas.
Thank
Yeah,
you, future
smoky
ex-wife.
margaritas.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is why we eventually get married and later divorced. Okay?
Yeah.
So, JP,
Oh no.
come.
And then I'm going to be at the end of time. I'm going to be Kang and be like,
Yeah.
look at all these timelines.
She Who Remains.
In exactly one of these, we were married and divorced. That's the
you
one
know
I'm
what?
going to break, because I want to break you, Jesse. And then I break that timeline and you become the villain and I become the superhero.
Here's the thing. The part I was born to play. Turns out, you trying to break me is what got us married in the first place. Tricks on you. I was into it. I was like, you're going to break me? I don't know. Is this how you hold a wedding ring?
No.
It's like
Is
this.
this-
No.
It's like
is
this.
this-
You do
yeah.
like that right there.
Who holds it like this?
You can hold it like this, but then it gets really awkward
this-
because, like, if it falls into the crevice, right? Falls in the
My
crevice.
wedding
right
ring
here,
is like
it's
a
kinda
little bit
awkward.
of soup I put in my hand.
You look like you're begging for something. Like, please,
I mean,
Zach, can I
That's
have
pretty.
some
Let's not
more?
pretend. That's pretty much what a marriage proposal is.
Just a
It's true.
crumb
You're
of
begging for
affection.
something.
It's true.
Please, just a crumb of companionship. That's what that
Yeah.
looks like.
That's it. That's all I ask for. A crumb. Just please, sir, may I have some more?
All right, we're all laughs. We're all friends. We're all family for now.
No, not this.
I
No,
hate that
not
you have to say that. Like, we're all laughs. Let me check back in. We're all friends. It's because we're doing this. Oh,
Let's rank it up.
Never mind.
Let's
All
rank it up.
friendship is negotiable right now.
Let's rank
Never
it up.
mind. Never mind.
So Barry made a little ranking website. It's not aggregate just yet, but if you, as a viewer, do want to go and submit your rankings, we'll probably have a community aggregate vote by next week, maybe the week after that. It's over at mcucrew.com/ranking. We're going to do our ranking, and at the moment, it only includes the films. We will talk about the Disney Plus shows, maybe even the Netflix shows at a later time, and throw those into the list. But we have 25 films that we got to rank. At current time, this list is chronological. But we can start moving stuff around. You tell me. You tell me where we're going.
Well, don't we have our original lists?
We do, and I knew this question was going to come up, and I don't know if it's here. I don't think it is. I'll have to find this real quick, or I might task one of the
We
union
definitely need to
members.
find it because I can't go against my original picks,
Yeah.
or else people are going to say I'm a hypocrite for changing my mind.
It's true.
Can't have that. And
Yeah.
I also need to remember what I fought you guys on, because that's it's a point of pride. I can't just let you have wins.
It's true.
That's just ridiculous. I would never do that.
Oh, there it goes. You have to move it in between. Okay, I was figuring out the mechanics of this.
I'll be honest. I might
Mhm.
change some of my rankings from what I originally did because they were done under duress. You know?
Wow.
So be it.
Wow.
So be it, Jedi.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Yeah.
do this because
All right.
we could.
It was like it was done under. I can't choose between these. It was like you have to choose, Bronze. You must choose. And me being like, fine, this one.
Yeah.
I'll change them. I don't care. Call me a hypocrite.
I think
I don't care.
I think we can probably figure out the.
We're so sassy today. 9 a.m.
great.
Bronze and Jesse are sass mongers.
It's great.
We're
Oh,
over
this
here
was already in
starting
JPedia.
fights.
So we can go phase 1. Avengers, we ranked at number 1. Iron Man. Number 3 was Captain America. 4 was Iron Man 2. Thor was number 5, and Incredible Hulk was number 6.
Great. What an amazing, perfect list.
Phase 2, Winter Soldier was number 1.
Great pick. Whoever picked that, genius.
Guardians of the Galaxy was number 2. Ant-Man, number 3. Avengers: Age of Ultron number 4, Iron Man 3 number 5, and The Dark World number 6.
By the way, speaking of Dark World, someone told me that there is rumor of like a Snyder cut, air quotes, of Thor 2.
Really?
And that they're trying like really hard to like get it to come out. Here's the thing. Please don't. Let's just move on. Let's just move on from Thor 2.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's like a lot of reasons and excuses why that movie wasn't great. That's fine. Let's move on. Sometimes you got to know when to cut a man loose.
Snyder cut type of nonsense.
It really
I'm not
fucked
gonna
up
lie.
Hollywood.
It's kind of annoying to me. Yeah, where it's like, my movie didn't suck. I just didn't get to tell my story. I kind of understand and I kind of empathize. But also, oh my God, please.
Yeah. Look, most things are not your story by the end of it. Real talk. If you have an idea and you take it to Hollywood, by the end, it ain't your idea anymore.
True.
Everyone has their little fingers in the pot, and that's the way it works. It sucks.
True.
That's called pitching. You'll pitch
Yeah.
a project and they'll literally be like, we love this idea, but instead of horror, we're gonna make a comedy. Like, and you completely change the scope of your project. Like, I've had this happen in pitch meetings like 3 times now, where you pitch a project and they're like, we love that, except instead of whatever you're saying, we're gonna say this completely opposite thing. And normally you go with it because you're just so excited to have your project picked up. This
Yeah.
happens like all the time. So to be like, oh well, my story wasn't perfect because I didn't get my desired cut. It's like, well, the story wasn't perfect because you were there's 18 hands in that pot. And it was never really your story.
Yeah, it's movie by committee, but that's just how it
Yeah.
is these days. Yeah. By the way, our phase 3 stuff was, I'm looking at this and I don't know how this happened. I don't know what you guys said during the phase 3 rankings, but this is what we came up with here. Infinity War number 1, Ragnarok 2, Endgame 3, Homecoming 4, Black Panther 5, Doctor Strange 6, Civil War 7, Guardians 2, number 8. 9 was Spider-Man Far From Home. 10 was Ant-Man and the Wasp. And 11 was Captain Marvel.
Admittedly, and we said this when we were going through this list, the difference between good and bad movies in phase 1 to phase 3 is huge. In phase 1 and 2, the bad movies suck and they're easy to determine. In phase 3, all the movies are watchable. They're all like, there's some fun in all of the movies.
Yeah.
And so it's just harder. And so there might be things on the list that your personal preference
That's true.
would prefer to be higher, but they're all like, the 1 through 11 of phase 3 is like, eek, and the
It's a little
1
rough.
through 6 of phase 1 is like,
Yeah.
just how it be.
Well, let's do this then. I think we start from the bottom. What is the worst movie in the 25 film MCU?
Hulk. Easy.
Is it Hulk? We don't,
Yeah,
is
100%.
Dark
100%.
World?
Easy.
Yeah, what about, is Thor better than Hulk? Is Dark World
Yes.
better than Hulk?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. It is. Because at least people talk about it.
Talk about Dark World. That's your caveat.
When they consider Marvel canon, only nerdburgers like us are like, and then Incredible Hulk, right? No one considers. People forgot about Incredible Hulk.
That's a valid. You're very correct in that.
Nobody's out there like, remember the Hulk movie? Wasn't that so bad or so good? No one even talks about it. It is the redheaded stepchild of the MCU.
Okay. You're gonna sway me on this because
I think we're all in on that.
I have like minor, I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to say OCD, but I have this desire to have like everything perfect in its collection all the time. And as a figure collector, this is a problem. Like you should see how I organize my comics. It's very what the kids would call anal, right? So there is a part of me now that that I can only put it like this. If I had it my way, the Hulk would be removed from this ranking, which I think would put it last. Like, there is a part of me that wish I could take it. Like there's something sticking
Yeah.
in my brain where I'm like, that shouldn't be there.
Yep.
Like I didn't like as a film, I do think it's better than Thor 2. But because there's such a strong part of me that's like, why do we even include that one? That shouldn't be there.
True.
It doesn't belong in the collection. It shouldn't be there. The you know how like when you get the graphic novels and the spine doesn't match or the DVD doesn't match? That's happening to me right now where I'm like, the spine of
To be
these
honest-
books is not matching.
To be honest,
even though they belong to the same set.
Incredible Hulk does not match. The spine does not match the rest of these films.
The spine does not match. And I bought the fucking set
Yeah.
on the graphic novel set. And when I put them on the shelf, even though technically it's a part of the graphic novel set, the spine doesn't fucking match, bro. So yeah, no, I agree with Jesse now. That is dead last.
The Hulk is number 25. Does that mean Thor: The Dark World is 24?
Easy 24. Easy 24.
I don't. I'm okay.
What would
I can't
you
wait
put
for
below
someone
it?
to tune in now and see Shang-Chi at 23 and be like, what?
No, yeah. I mean, that's a little unfair thing. Is that
That's our number 23, everyone. Okay.
Yeah. So
We
then,
just don't like kung fu action.
is Thor 23?
Is Thor?
I don't. I'm
What
trying to
are
think of
other lists?
what's some.
Why is that so low?
I think
Yeah,
like
go back. I feel like Iron Man 2 should be.
Iron Man
there
2 should be
instead.
there somewhere towards the bottom. Let me just move
Yes.
this down towards the bottom. This might be a hot take. I think Black Widow's somewhere near the bottom.
I would
Ooh,
agree.
half of that movie was really bad.
But half of it was very good.
But that
I don't
makes the
think
second half that sucks worse, doesn't it? When the first half is good.
Oh,
Is it
I
bad
agree.
that I
It definitely shouldn't be
we
like it
agree
shouldn't be 20
that
and under.
Captain
It's definitely
Marvel-
21 through whatever for sure.
Can we agree that Captain Marvel belongs under 20, or sorry, over 20 as well? Between 20 to
I would
22.
I would say that Captain Marvel's like 20.
Captain Marvel's 20. Oh, I was gonna say 21, but yeah, I agree.
Let's deal with Thor first. Let's deal with Thor first.
Okay.
Is
okay.
Iron
Can we
Man
go back
2?
to phase 1 really quick? Can we go back to the phase 1 peak? So Incredible Hulk, give me phase 2. Give me phase 2. All right, and then give me phase 3. Yeah, okay. All right. So I'm thinking this is my pitch to you because it's a simple Incredible Hulk 25, Thor 2, 24, Iron Man 2, 23, right? Thor, the original Thor, at 20, right? And then Captain Marvel and Black Widow at 21, 22. And Black Widow is
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do
20.
some. Is that?
yes.
Is that what you said?
That's what I'm thinking. Let me pitch that
I
as
think Captain
the
Marvel's a
bottom.
better film than Thor and Black Widow. Like I would actually swap Thor and Captain Marvel here.
I
Actually,
actually might agree with you.
I
on
would
that
do this.
because
I would do that right there.
I think Thor is boring.
Yeah, it's not bad. Or sorry,
Right, but boring is the worst sin. Yeah.
yeah, boring is definitely like Thor's not. There's just not much that happens in Thor. Ultimately,
Mhm.
I have to lobby for Iron Man 2 to be higher.
what?
It had one of the best villains.
What? Who?
All right,
I've-
I know
I've
I
gone
know
on
who you're
record-
talking
Are
about.
you talking
You're
about
Hammer?
Hammer? Yeah.
Hammer,
Yeah.
yes. My only complaint about Thor is that they ever put "I want my board" in it. I think they should have just
want
done
my blood.
Hammer. I think Iron Man 2 is actually like more entertaining. I would go back and watch it over Black Widow. I would 100% go back and watch it.
Hold on. Now that I'm realizing this, is
You
Iron
want
Man
blood?
319 then?
Wait, are we putting Iron Man 3 over Iron Man 2?
That's what I'm saying. I just realized that was the case. I am an Iron Man 3 fan.
Switch
We've
up.
known
Switch
this.
up.
But
We need all right. Based on bronze, I think you're right. I think it should be everything's the way it is except Iron Man 2 moves up to 20. I'm sorry, Iron Man 3 moves up to 20 and Iron Man 2 is 19. We can put them side by side in the order they deserve to be.
You know what? I'm okay with that. I
Yeah.
am actually very okay with that because I did not hate 3 that much either. There's things I hate about 3, but overall as a film, I don't think I hated it.
But then what is that? I
Captain Marvel would be 20.
I think
Iron
it's
Man would.
this. I think Captain Marvel's better than both Iron Man 2 and 3.
Here's the thing. I'll allow it because frankly, I think they all are in like the weird trash heap of like.
Oh,
they're
this
at the
is
bottom.
definitely the bottom.
Yeah, so like people can fight me on. No one's gonna care. Like people are more concerned about 1, 2, and 3. But whatever floats your boat. I'm fine with it.
I mean, where do we?
I don't know. I would put Captain Marvel at 21. Maybe I'm being a hater. I have no compulsion to go back and watch that film. It has cute moments, but as a film, like it's just not.
I think,
To
man,
me,
you're
it
right.
just wasn't great. The pacing wasn't great. It wasn't. It doesn't even have what like 2 and 3, Iron Man 2 and 3 have going for it. It's not even fun.
Captain Marvel's
Those
not
movies
fun.
are fun.
JP,
Yeah.
Bronze is. If
I
we go
thought
based
Captain
on,
Marvel was
Maybe
fun.
I'm being a hater. I
but how much do you like
that
how much do you
character
rewatch
a lot.
these movies? Because I can say, even though I don't like Iron Man 2 and 3, for some reason, I have watched them numerous times. I've seen Captain Marvel twice. And I was like, that's enough.
Yes, that's what
Well,
I'm saying.
I think that just means you like Iron Man as a character more than you like Captain Marvel as a character.
That's not true. From the comic books,
I'm
was
saying
like
for Jesse,
Carol
not
Core. Oh, yeah, I was like hardcore Carol Core.
No.
I came into it rooting for Brie Larson, and then she just didn't sell it to me. Like I just didn't feel like she was super likable in the role, and it was really confusing to me because I thought she was going to kill it, and I thought that movie was going to be my favorite movie of all time.
I love Brie Larson. I like her in the role. I think that, I just, for some reason, it isn't a movie like, when I think about movies that I like to rewatch, it's movies that don't have a lot of downtime. I don't know how best to describe it, but even when I go back and watch old movies that I love, like a great example is I love the original Star Wars trilogy, but I can tell you exactly the timestamps of where I fast forward. Where I'm like, I don't need, you know what? I don't need to see the entire, like, getting to know the Ewoks again. I don't need to see the whole scene on, like, where they're like, we gotta find Luke out in the middle of the, in the Wampa and and I know what I like. Like, all right, let's get to when the Imperial Walkers show up, like that kind of stuff. And the problem with Captain Marvel is there are so few scenes that I'm like, oh, I want to watch that scene again. That was awesome. I want to see that again. She doesn't really have a lot of like, I'm going to do cool action powery scenes until the very end. And then when she does, she's like overpowered and one-shots everything. And it's like, well, that's it. Time to move on. And at least with Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, there are a lot of ridiculous scenes that are fun. Mm-hmm. Iron Man 3 is worse because there's a lot more fast forwardable. Like, I don't give a shit about him and that boy. I could care less about that plot line where he's like, that kid's just like, we gotta like go see the wreckage of like where the dude blew up in the town. They go there and like have a they like have a heart-to-heart chat next to the crater where the guy blew up. Like, I don't care about any of this. But in Iron Man 2, at least there's fun scenes mixed in. Plus, I could watch that scene where they like show Congress all the different like test robots exploding and stuff a million times. It's hilarious. Scene. It's so good. So yeah, I'm gonna join Bronze on this. Captain Marvel, I think, should be after Iron Man 3.
Okay. I'll bow out and agree to that. But I will use this for a later thing in the list. I'm okay with 19 through 25 at the point. Okay. Now I think it's going to start getting a little difficult. I think we definitely pull Age of Ultron down somewhere in here. I think we definitely pull Ant-Man 2 somewhere down in here.
Wow.
I think we... Well, I just know you guys. This is like a group thing, knowing where we rank the other stuff.
I said I liked Ant-Man 2 more than I liked Ant-Man 1, and I remember
Ant-Man
your face,
2 was
JP.
number 10. I was a little shocked to hear you say that as well.
I really like that movie. I don't know why, but I really like that movie.
I fell asleep. That's the only Marvel movie I've ever fallen asleep in, and it just did not get me. And it has everything I love. I love Evangeline Lilly. I love Paul Rudd. I love his weird, quirky crew. I love all of it. And I still was like, this is Snooze Town population me right here.
Did you have a turkey
Ant-Man
dinner that day?
No, Ant-Man, but again, it comes back to rewatchability. I went back and rewatched Ant-Man and the Wasp again on Disney Plus through my rewatch. And I was like, oh man, I slept through a lot of this movie. But even then, I watched it all and was like, yeah, no, I didn't miss much, truthfully. The only important thing that happens is the end of the movie post-credits.
Oh, I will agree that it's not important, but I don't factor that in. Like, I don't factor in how important a film is to the entire MCU.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is that's the takeaway I got. Is after 2 hours, the thing that I cared about most was the post-credit scene. The rest of it, I was like, cool.
I liked both Ant-Man movies, and I feel like we kind of did them a disservice in our original. Because I feel
Ant-Man's great.
Yeah, I think first Ant-Man will rank high here.
Suffered because it was in a category where it wasn't going to thrive. Because I feel like every other movie in there was like fantastic, if I remember.
It's tough, yeah. We gave Ant-Man 3. I mean, that's pretty good considering the other two movies ahead of it are like phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, Ant-Man is definitely 3 in that list. The hard part of Phase 2 was the back half, because Phase 2 was definitely like one of the rougher phases for sure. Okay, so here's the question: where did we rank Ultron and Guardians? Age of Ultron was 4, and Guardians 2 was 8. So is Guardians 2 a better film than Age of Ultron?
Yes.
Yes. A million times yes.
Yes.
So I'm actually okay with 16 through 18 right here then. Guardians 2 at 16, Ant-Man and the Wasp at 17, Age of Ultron at 18.
That flies with me.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
Since we haven't ever ranked Shang-Chi before, where are we thinking? Top 5?
Oh,
top
man,
10?
that's definitely top 5, I think, for me.
I mean, there's also a lot of recency bias there as well that could come into play.
Can we do a thing?
Yeah.
But these movies have also gotten better over time, which is so brutally unfair to the old films. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because if you look at Shang-Chi, that is, I would say, probably the best origin story we've ever seen.
I would agree with that.
Did,
yeah.
The amount of that they put in that film for me is wild.
Yeah.
But I will also admit, huge bias, because I love like kung fu cinema and Hong Kong style action films.
Right.
And I think like whether or not you like this film is going to hinge on that. It's going to be like, do you enjoy those types of films? Are you seasoned? Then you might enjoy it. If you're not, you might not, you know?
Can we do a thing where we stick Shang-Chi at 1 and it needs to be like
the last one we put in?
Movie? Well, I mean, like, it's number 1, so everything else is this better to us than Shang-Chi?
Okay. All right.
At least it's easy because of recency bias. I can be like, all right, looking at it, is this better?
I'm going to be honest as well with Spider-Man Far From Home. I think it's 15. I'm looking at every movie ahead of it, and I don't think they're better.
Far From Home is Mysterio, yes?
Yeah.
I was not the biggest fan of Far From Home compared to
it's 15. 15
where
is
did we
exactly
rank?
where it should be. Far From Home was 9 for us. Yeah, 15 is exactly where it should be.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so this is where it starts getting crazy. What's the 14th best movie in the MCU? What gets pushed back here? Probably, I would think Captain America, the first Captain America, definitely is like in the 10 to 14 range.
Yes.
Man, I love that movie.
This is hard. I love basically every single movie pre like 15 I love. Like I actually love. So this is
Ant-Man's definitely in the 10 to 14 range.
This is my hell. I think Ragnarok needs to go up.
Somewhere, yeah.
I guess let's all right. Before we do anything, let's like looking at what we have. Which of the 2 to 14 movies do we think is better than Shang-Chi? As like a baseline. Now that we have Shang-Chi at number 1,
I mean,
what do we think is better?
Endgame.
yeah.
I mean, I think Endgame is better just because of what it is.
If
Yes.
Endgame is better, then by our rankings, Ragnarok and Infinity War are better.
Infinity War, I think.
Mm.
Look, I still think Infinity War should be number 1, but like that's just me.
Not necessarily
Rag-
that these are correct. I'm just
Right.
saying.
That's
that-
not the order.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think
Okay.
Ragnarok is
Okay.
Oh man. Is Ragnarok better?
I mean, according to our Phase 3 ranking, it's
For me,
better than
Ragnarok
Endgame.
is better. For me, Ragnarok
Okay.
is better. And
I don't know how the hell that happened. We'd have to get a playback
I
on
actually
that.
messed up. Okay, so here's my Hotelagar Bronzigan. I would put Infinity War and Ragnarok ahead of Shang-Chi and Endgame behind it. But I've always had that controversial opinion that I liked Infinity more than I liked Endgame. And I think even when we originally ranked these, I said that, and everyone was like, "What?" And I was like, Endgame is only good because it has the payoff from Infinity War. Like I'm a big Infinity War fan. I liked it more than Endgame.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's impossible for me to honestly think of these two as different movies, right? Like, you can't just sit down and watch Endgame. You have to watch Infinity War first, for me.
But to me, Infinity War was so good, I didn't mind waiting like a year for Endgame. Somehow they made a complete story and a hook for the next campaign. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like
I mean,
it,
that's
like
definitely a
I
different
do
statement,
think
but yeah.
Infinity War is like a complete film. Like I think you could actually end it there, and the watcher could draw their own conclusions. Like maybe they did lose. Maybe half of them did get dusted. It's just I don't know. I don't know what it is about Infinity War. There's something about that movie.
It's a great movie.
And
It's good,
Great.
yeah.
I just really fucking like it.
It's the Empire Strikes Back of the MCU. I would agree with that statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
So good.
That's
Look, the bad guy deserves a win every once in a while. But we shouldn't get lost in the weeds on 1, 2, 3.
I agree.
because
Not yet.
There's a bunch of do we think Iron Man is better than Shang-Chi?
No. And I'm a huge Iron
No,
Man fan, and
I
I
don't
will
think
say
it
no.
is.
Iron Man.
I don't think the Avengers movie
and
is.
here's the thing. Iron Man to me was like a perfect film when it came out in 2008. And I think Shang-Chi really throws a light on how it's an older film.
I have to stand Captain America Winter Soldier as being better. That's just who I am.
Oh, Winter Soldier.
I love that movie.
Winter Soldier is definitely
love it.
It's the best.
Winter
Soldier is the best non origin story, non team up movie in the MCU, in my opinion.
I think this is one of those things where I think it's great. Another one that I think is worth looking at is Black Panther. I think that's a phenomenal movie too.
I'm sorry. No, Black Panther better than Shang-Chi?
Better than Shang-Chi? I don't know if I agree with that.
I'm sorry.
I think
I don't think Black Panther is better than Iron Man.
Okay.
I don't know. My thoughts on Black Panther are known. I think it had a lot of good going for it, but I never got behind the Killmonger character.
I don't like Killmonger as a character.
I loved Killmonger. Oh, boy.
I just don't like him as a character, not necessarily how he's portrayed in the movie. I just don't like the character. I loved it.
And I felt like the last, 30% of the film, or was 20% of the film was like the CGI was terrible, and it just wasn't. I don't understand how the setup was so strong in the beginning and how the film tapers off in the latter. Like the ending was just so unsatisfying.
Did we watch the same movie?
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that statement.
Did we watch the same movie?
What? Did you? That scene with the fucking train, the cars going, or the
Well, yeah, they fought where they were mining like
you like that scene?
vibranium
You like that?
because
It
they were
dampens the
fighting
suit.
over the vibranium because that was it's symbolism.
Bro, go back and watch that film. Go back and watch that mining section, dude, because it was not great.
CGI isn't great.
I'm sorry.
You're absolutely true.
It's not just the
But-
CGI, it's the fight choreography. Like, that scene was not good, man. It just wasn't a good scene.
Did it bring
that's
down the
like the
rest of the
final
movie though?
scene.
Did one scene
Yes,
bring?
because that's your because that's your final scene. How do you have
Hold on.
Naira?
Hold on. Iron Man 1's final scene is actual dog shit compared to the Black
But I'm not
Panther.
saying.
Thank you.
But I'm not saying.
Thank you.
I'm not saying Iron Man 1 is better than Black Panther. I'm talking about Shang-Chi and Black Panther.
Well, then let me just, if we're going to go
That's
off this
tough, yeah.
one scene
We're
thing,
talking about two different films here.
the
I didn't
converse can
say-
be true then. If one
But
scene
I'm
can
not
ruin a
saying
movie,
Iron Man 1
the
is better than Black
converse,
Panther.
Endgame,
I'm saying
can have a
Black
scene
Panther
that-
is
that
not better
makes an
than
entire
Shang-Chi.
movie. I'm just saying, if one scene can ruin a movie, Endgame's ending can
But
be
it's not.
just as
It's
powerful.
not about one scene ruining a movie. It's about, like, how do you put all of your best fight choreography at the beginning of the film? You have a scene where
I don't know that I agree
Denai
with that.
Guerrera throws her wig in a dude's face and beats the shit out of him, and you're gonna end with that. Like, that's your penultimate fucking scene.
Yeah, because the only way that they could get off the suit. They explain it all. It's in the movie. They explain that when the things come up, it negates then
It removes
like
the
it's
suit.
explained.
Yeah. Then it's just
explained
mano
in
a
the
mano.
movie.
There's just whole sections of that film I just didn't like. I'm sorry. Like, but here's the thing, there are whole sections of that film I loved that I thought were just amazing. But there were whole sections of that film that I was like, what are we doing here? And I guess
mean,
that's where the
I'll
disconnect is
concede.
happening.
I'll let you have it. It's not a big deal to me. It's just I don't know.
Well,
I
this.
feel like because Marvel movies are so paint by numbers, to be like, well, I didn't like the like wacky way that Black Panther ended versus I loved watching the same shaky camera as Shang-Chi and his sister ride on a dragon and fight, and like it's the exact same like build up, except it's just different. It's just a different version of the same build up where it's like we're doing a cool thing, we're investigating stuff, we're out and like literally like I need someone to go get me a Black Panther Shang-Chi like comparison.
Oh, they're
I'm pretty sure the plot overlays
formulaic.
perfectly.
No, all these
Yeah,
films
yeah.
are formulaic as hell. But I think Shang-Chi has the benefit of being newer. So it just has
Sure.
better pacing. It has better like ratio of comedy to like family drama, and I think they did not shy away from like adding in the cultural elements.
Okay. Look, I'll give it to you. I'm not
But
like
wait,
this
what-
isn't a
what
hill
are
I'm gonna
we-
die on.
What is the argument here? That Black Panther is
Is
better
is
or
Black
worse
Panther better?
than what? Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi. Yeah. We're just trying to figure out what goes above number 4 right now.
And
That's
Jesse,
all.
you're saying it is better?
I'm saying that I think it's a good question. I honestly don't. If there was a perfect world, I would rate the two side by side because I think they're,
Oh,
equally
okay.
the same in my eyes as like I enjoyed both of them tremendously. But there's no hill I'm dying on here. Like it doesn't matter to me. If we were to, if we were talking about like
Well,
Infinity War and something better than that, I would like plant a flag and be ready to fight off anyone. Be like, Infinity
Yeah.
War's the best.
I
They're
think
all fools.
it's
Yeah.
for me. It's Shang-Chi's just a better movie than Black Panther.
Great.
So
Wait,
it's,
okay, so
that's a
JP,
2-1.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with you. I just think Shang-Chi is a better movie than Black Panther. I didn't have the issues.
That's
that
all
you
I
had
was
with it.
saying, though. But I was using those issues to illustrate that Shang-Chi was better.
I have different issues on why it's better, but yeah. we'll do that.
All right. What about? I mean, I don't think Avengers is better. I personally like Captain America: Winter Soldier as one of my favorite Marvel movies, but like whatever, it's fine.
I honestly think Winter Soldier is better than Shang-Chi.
I just think it's like a better movie overall.
I
Like,
agree.
from start to finish, it like
Dude,
is
Winter
a
Soldier's
solid film.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Bronze, where do you weigh in on that? Is Winter Soldier better than Shang-Chi?
I'm gonna get a solid no.
Who's thinking? We're thinking.
Yeah.
That you're goddamn right it is. It's a better fucking movie.
That's right. Get on board the train.
The Winter Soldier train is leaving. Here's what I will say though.
I hate that, but yes.
I have Bronze's criticisms with the Winter Soldier. The final scene of Winter Soldier, I can turn the movie off. I can just stop watching once they get onto the helicarriers.
You're out of your goddamn mind. When he has to fight Bucky,
yeah,
and
I don't
Bucky
give a
keeps
shit.
shooting his ass.
I don't give a
I don't want to hurt you, Buck.
I don't give a shit.
You're out of your goddamn mind. That is a beautiful
The Winter
scene.
Soldier
That
was
proves
cooler.
why Captain America's Captain America. You're out of your mind.
The Winter Soldier was cooler when he had his mask. The second he takes his mask off, whatever. I don't give a shit.
No, it was his friend. And he was traumatized. He was going through some shit. And Bucky saved Cap. You're out of your goddamn mind.
My criteria is that I've never been the biggest Captain America or Winter Soldier fan. And I remember watching that movie and becoming interested after that film, which I think is a fucking triumph.
Oh, yeah.
When you're like, yo, this film is so entertaining that even though I don't care about these characters very much, I feel myself starting to, because this movie is that good.
That movie also to loop Black Widow, it was the best version of Black Widow in the entire MCU.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the only place where she felt like she had a spot.
She made sense.
They knew what to do with her character.
100%.
They knew what to do with her character.
Yes.
Versus throwing her against these giant cosmic villains where she looks like a fucking idiot. What are you gonna do? Shoot him? You're gonna bust a Cap in Thanos' ass? But in that film, it made sense, like what her skill set is, what she's good at, and like that was a movie she belonged in.
Now, she literally did the Mission Impossible mask thing. Like she did it all. It was great. Great.
I am having some internal conflict here now that I'm thinking about it. Out of the Winter Soldier and Shang-Chi, comparing the two films, is Shang-Chi a better fight sequence movie than Winter Soldier?
I think it's different.
Because I feel like Winter Soldier walked so that Shang-Chi could run.
Right? I think
or even fly.
It's two different things. Shang-Chi is more physical, and you can like Winter Soldier is a lot of like
knife magic.
Captain America, like cheesing his way through mega jumps and like gun battles and stuff, and Shang-Chi does not have that.
True.
It's two different things.
The elevator fight scene,
a great shootout to it, like a martial arts kung fu flick, right?
Yeah,
like you can't compare the ending of Heat to the ending of Seven Samurai, right? Like you can't do it.
That's true. Okay, I'm all right with Winter Soldier being 4, or Winter Soldier being above. Sorry, Shang-Chi. Iron Man and Avengers, I think, fall behind Shang-Chi. I think if you tie in like the emotional connection with the Avengers, like that was the first time that I think the MCU was realized, right? But I don't know if that counts on where it is in this list.
Boy, I would put Guardians ahead of Avengers.
Wait, but shouldn't we start from the bottom? Shouldn't we start from 15?
It's easier, I think, to start on each opposite end and then meet in the middle, I think. But maybe I'm wrong. Also, if going from
So what do we think is the worst of these?
Uh-oh. Did it just like redo the list somehow?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I saw Captain America.
Man, this is a toughie.
I mean, I think Ant-Man lies in there. I think. Okay, where do we rate Black Panther and Doctor Strange?
Man, I love Doctor Strange.
Black Panther was better than Doctor Strange in our list.
I mean,
so I would say,
but not in my heart.
I love. The problem is like we put those two. If we go back to Phase 3 again, it's like just tough. Phase 3 is a lot of good movies, And I think it's just really, I don't know, man.
I think. Oh, I would put this back there.
Sure.
I think that's my list. Oh, what about
Doctor Strange
Civil
is
War?
13 and Black Panther's 14? I would disagree with that.
No, we agreed that Black Panther was better than Doctor Strange in Phase 3.
No, I'm talking about the numbers 13, 14.
Yeah, I think I would put Civil War at 14.
Civil War, yeah.
Civil War's 14?
For me, yes.
Yeah, Civil War's all right. I think I enjoy Black Panther and Doctor Strange more than Civil War.
Civil War was
not the
behind
biggest
right here.
Civil War fan. I was not the biggest
Yeah.
Civil War fan.
I mean, going by our list, then yeah, it would be that right there. Going by our previous list.
Sure.
Even though I love Zemo, I think that's just a testament to like how
I'm okay with that. Do we? Okay, yeah, never mind. I was gonna say Far From Home, but yeah, where did we rank Homecoming?
Homecoming is number
4.
9 on our list currently.
And it's 4
Listen,
here.
Homecoming is a film I remember ranting about it when we ranked them, saying like, this movie has everything. It has a love story. The Vulture's a perfect villain. He literally feeds on the carcasses of the Avengers and makes his own shit from the tech that gets left behind. And
I love
Keaton
Homecoming.
is amazing.
Homecoming
has
is
So
a
let me-
great
references
movie.
to the comics. Like, so I'm not allowed to talk about Homecoming.
Is
'cause I
Homecoming
thought-
better than Galaxy 1? Than Guardians 1?
Yes. It's
Jesse?
so
And
good.
Guardians of the Galaxy 1? Man, Guardians is so good.
Homecoming is better, I think.
Let me ask you
I-
this.
I-
Let me ask you this. Here's maybe
Yeah.
a question that will be better for the list. Is Homecoming better than the Avengers and Iron Man?
Can I? Look,
No.
I'm gonna let you in
No.
on this. I don't think it's better than Avengers, but I definitely think it's better than Iron Man. But that's just me.
But but we rate.
But that's just recent. That's just because it is more like Iron Man was the first, and so it definitely has that old comic book vibe to it, like old comic book movie vibe. There's a lot of it that like, that like Here's the problem with Homecoming that upset. Like, it's hard for me to compare it to other things because in Homecoming, the villain is so good.
Yeah.
There is a literal plot twist. That is, when it happened in the theater, I was like, oh shit, that actually mattered. I love that. It has an actual, like, we're going to make a Peter Tony kind of story happen here. There's so much to it that even the love story in it exists, but isn't it isn't the main focus until it's thrust forward for a reason you're not expecting. And then we are like, I don't know, this the entire thing, even Ned being the guy in the chair, and and then the woman comes like, what are you doing? He's like, looking up porn. Like that, the whole thing is so fun. It's such a fun ass movie. And I don't, Iron Man is badass. Iron Man is a cool ass movie, but also at the same time, like, man, I love Homecoming. I don't know. I don't know.
I think Iron Man is too high at the moment. I also love Iron Man, but they didn't know what the fuck to do for the end of that. And I think as the MCU went on, Iron Man became a worse movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is like this happens to me rarely, but it's hard for me to not remember that movie as the first real MCU film I went and saw in theaters.
Right.
And
the fact that
that
this
feeling,
high, and it was the first.
When I remember
Says a lot.
watching it and being like, holy shit, they did it. Like they made a really good comic book movie. And I had my complaints about it, but I was just so like, it's so hard for me to put that away. Like, it's so hard for me to like put that on the side. It's so hard to have an objective opinion about that movie because Robert Downey Jr. was Tony Stark.
Sure. Oh, I agreed. It's a
and
phenomenal
seeing like Nick Fury at the end sitting on the couch, like there was so much in that movie that I was like, oh my God, there's gonna be more. Like we got this one, and there's gonna be more like this one. And I can't believe that there's gonna be more like this one. And I just remember being so excited for that film.
All right, I'm gonna say something that may or may not be controversial and would shake this list up. What if we move Guardians to 6, Spider-Man to 7, Iron Man becomes 8, Avengers becomes 9?
I'm willing
Wait,
to
repeat
concede
that?
on this.
Here, I'll do it, and then you can tell me what you think.
I'm willing to concede on this because I personally feel that and I know this isn't the best take, but I love Captain America: First Avenger. I love that movie more than I do Iron Man. But look, I'm a Captain America stan. I think I like Iron Man, so that's a personal thing. So I'm willing to concede on this list, knowing that I won't get what I want, because that is how compromise works.
Also, I'm happy with where it is, but I do just want to point out Ant-Man is currently number 11. And here's the thing. I think that is a perfect encapsulation of Paul Rudd just fucking sneaking in. Everyone be like, oh no, that's correct.
Yeah. I don't know.
No one being upset or minding or having a big kerfuffle about it. It just happened.
I think Doctor Strange and Captain America need to be swapped.
Ooh.
I couldn't disagree more.
That might be an internal conflict that you and Jesse always have. Because I think they're where they should be.
I'll give you Iron Man 8 if you can let Doctor Strange stay where it's at. Compromise is the name of this game.
Okay. If Iron Man stays at 8, which is already breaking my heart, but if it stays at 8, then I'll concede to Doctor Strange being at 12.
Look, I think the fact that Shang-Chi is such a good movie and it's 5 says a lot about the list and how difficult it is. Right? Like, I love Shang-Chi.
The psycho opinion. I was the only outlier with Endgame where I felt like Endgame should be lower and Infinity War is number 1. So I am not allowed to touch the top 5. Because I thought Endgame was okay, but the whole Professor Hulk thing did not jive with me, and there were things about it
he gets fixed. Spoilers. I mean, they reverted that somehow. We don't know how, but it's been reverted.
It just didn't. There was things about it that I was like, Infinity War was, in my opinion, so much a better movie.
To people in chat saying Endgame sucked ass, I don't think we saw the same movie.
I wouldn't say it sucked.
I don't understand that at all.
I wouldn't say it sucked, but it's not my number 2.
I think it has to be just because of how important it is as a film in film. Not necessarily because of the quality of the movie, but there will never be anything like it, and it will never be done again.
Yeah, it's a landmark piece.
But by that metric, Iron Man should be top 5.
Exactly.
Because Iron Man is so. We can't take that into account. We can't take into account
Bronze is correct.
Because
Bronze is entirely
Iron
correct.
Man,
yes.
Iron Man has to be higher, And so if we're gonna set aside its importance,
I don't know,
and just look at it as a film, Endgame is not where Infinity War was. Infinity War is there's a gap between how good Infinity War is and where Endgame falls.
JP,
talk to me about how Endgame and Iron Man have cultural significance that is shared. Because I think Iron Man did it first.
Easy. Yeah, Iron Man is the start of the MCU. There's a reason why in the end credits of Endgame, the last person shown and the person who got the most applause of all the Avengers was Tony Stark, right? Like it's
he literally started and ended with a snap.
Here's the thing,
first phase of Marvel, like the first arc.
I counter and say it is very easy to start something. It is impossible to end something.
No, there was not good faith in the MCU going into Iron Man. You have to remember, DC was known as the king of comic book films, and Marvel had nothing to stand up next to it. there was not a lot of faith going into Iron Man.
We
Marvel
might
had
just have to
fumbled so
agree to
many Hulk
disagree there.
films.
Well, I think the
And
point,
now
though,
you have this
JP,
dude coming in trying to like start off an entire cinematic universe on the back of Hulk, Incredible Hulk, and somehow it was so good he fucking did it. He fucking did it. And prior to that, the only thing we had that was even close to significance and being like not a cheesy, kind of Batman film or Spider-Man film was Watchmen. And then here comes fucking Robert Downey Jr., who is Tony Stark, sold that fucking movie and relaunched his entire career, by the way, off the back of it. Because prior to that, our standard for comic book movies was down here. And after it, our standard went up to here.
I agree. But speaking to you as a creative, Bronze, is it harder to start something or end something? Well,
I would actually say they're both equally different they're both equally hard for different reasons. Because ending something is difficult narratively.
right.
Starting something is difficult to get it made, to sell it, to convince people this is worth making, to get people to invest.
Those are different things, which I guess what you just said.
Yeah, when you start a D&D campaign, getting people to watch it, getting people to be invested, convincing them that it's different, convincing them that it has something special, getting them to care about the characters is so hard. But then ending a D&D campaign is difficult for the opposite reasons.
Let me ask you this,
Can
though.
I be a contrarian for a hot sec?
What's your actual answer, Bronze? Is it harder to end something well or create something? Because I think that factors into this decision on if Iron Man should be bumped up or Endgame should be pulled back. And I think we also had this discussion when we did phase 3 somewhat as well. So we're kind of rehashing an old argument, but this is the big list.
I'll wait.
That's so difficult to answer.
We could let Jesse speak if you want to think on it.
Yeah.
Jesse, please speak.
I think you're both wrong. I think you're both totally off base here.
Okay.
Beginning something, you have momentum, you have like the desire and creativity, you have all these things, this passion to make a thing.
Okay.
Because you're starting a thing and you want it. Ending something is you have momentum and you have all this work. I would say the hardest thing is all the shit in the middle. Starting that D&D campaign, you're so excited. You're doing all this work. You're putting in the time. And then episode 3, 4, 8, 10, all that shit.
But how does that factor into the decision on if Iron Man is moved
all I'm
up?
saying is that both of you are wrong, and they're fine where they're at. And if anything, Endgame maybe is worse than Ragnarok, but they're fine. There is no
I'm okay.
There is no discussion here.
Okay, I will say
the middle is the hardest part. The beginning and the end are easy comparatively.
I agree with Jesse, though.
Landing everything to make the MCU.
Well, then we both agree with Jesse, so they're not going to move. That's it.
But Jesse said Endgame should come after Ragnarok, and I agree with Jesse on that.
I don't agree with Jesse on that. Because oh fuck, that's what it was here.
Oh, welcome.
I guess I didn't have a big enough argument.
You just become the Macho Man, Randy Savage.
Yeah, that was Jesse the Macho Man.
Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Jesse?
Sometimes you got to cream of the crop. Sometimes you got to rise to the top like the cream of the crop. That's all I'm saying.
Hold on. Did we have the discussion if Shang-Chi's better than Ragnarok?
I think Thor Ragnarok's better than Shang-Chi.
Bronze?
I would agree with that.
Well, then 2-1. I'm out. It doesn't matter what I think.
But I don't think Ragnarok should be that high.
That's what I'm
so
saying.
Weird.
I fucking.
I don't think Ragnarok should be that high.
It's a good movie.
But look, I think Captain America: Winter Soldier is the #1 movie.
Now I don't know if it's number 1, but
I'd say it's number 2.
If Captain America and Thor Ragnarok swapped, I wouldn't be upset. I would agree with that.
But but then again, it would be Thor Ragnarok would be worse than Endgame, and I don't think Endgame is better than Thor Ragnarok.
Well, no. It would just be this. This would be the swap.
Bronze, I can tell, is dying inside.
Well, this is a 2-to-1 scenario.
I never wanted to do this. I never wanted to do this.
But here's the thing, I don't know on the scope and scale if Winter Soldier is that high.
I do.
Here's the problem.
Apart from the end.
Okay, the guys, why are we talking about scope and scale? In the set, like, cause okay, we have to like establish some rules here.
There are no rules here, Bronze.
Part of this debate started. Do we care about how important a film is to the overall MCU? Because I'm making the argument that we shouldn't. Whether or not it's hard to start something or end something, I think we should just take them as movies and not do that. Otherwise, so is what I'm saying making sense?
No, I know what you're saying,
Sure.
but I think that works in a phase 1 to phase 3 scenario. I think if you're doing an overall list, you bring everything into the fucking equation. It is an overall list. Which is why I think this list is fine. I think Endgame might be better than Thor, but I lost that argument. It's a 2-to-1, Democratic vote. And I lost. And so that's why it's 4. With Ragnarok 3, Winter Soldier 1, Infinity War.
I would never.
Sorry,
if we are
Winter Soldier
taking
2.
into account importance in the cinematic universe.
Iron Man's not 8.
If we're taking into account the scale of the project and therefore the difficulty in telling the story because of the amount of characters on screen, and if we're taking into account whether or not that film set up other films for success, Winter Soldier should not be at number 2. Winter Soldier should not be at number 2. Like, as a film, it's great, but if we're taking those things into account, that film can't be at number 2.
I think this comes down to Democratic vote then. Or me and Jesse are on. Yes,
I'm trying to look over this list and I like Civil War better than Ant-Man, but here we are. Here we are.
Oh, you're okay.
Oh,
so
shit.
There's a lot of compromise taking place here. There's in my personal
I think
list,
Captain America's too high.
Just in general, I think we're all gonna have issues. We're all gonna have
Civil
personal
War
issues with the list.
Higher.
The goal is
no, Civil War shouldn't be higher than Captain America, but maybe
the trick is as a group, with all of the issues, the small issues that we have personally, as a group, have we decided that this list is correct? Like, we might have our own small little differences, but unless we both agree on that, then nothing's going to change.
No, Guardians should be higher than Winter Soldier in that case because Guardians took unknown characters, multiple of them for that fact, introduced them all and told a complete story in 90 minutes.
Jesse, I think Captain America should be that high.
I like Winter Soldier as a film more, but Guardians had such a different that. The fact that they stuck the landing on that, I have to advocate that Guardians should not be at 6 with Winter Soldier at 2 because now we've changed the criteria, and now my brain is thinking in that.
We haven't.
I think the criteria has always been the same for me and Jesse. I think your criteria has shifted.
I was operating. We didn't establish the rules.
We didn't. That's me and Jesse were operating by a different rule set, and that's
there are no rules. Love and War. Yeah, this is. I mean, obviously, I think we really nailed it when it comes to number 1, number 25. I think we can all agree. Our bookends, flawless. we did everything else in the middle, as we discussed here. Only the beginning and the end apparently matters. So who cares?
Well, yeah, I think we have. I think we have different feelings on why Infinity War is number 1. Infinity War for me is number 1.
Why is Winter Soldier so high?
It's a great movie.
It's very good.
It's one of the only movies in the MCU that I can say, hey, I know you don't like the MCU, but I guarantee you will like the Winter Soldier.
I mean, look, personally,
am I smoking crack? Would you put Winter Soldier at number 2?
It's kind of mixed.
It's a good movie. I'm not saying it's not a good movie. I started out this listing saying it was a great movie. But number 2?
I'm
That's-
getting
Oh, a lot
of
we got a hell
no's,
no.
couple of yeses.
Hell no.
Majority
Top
no's. though.
5.
Well, now it's
Oh,
kind
no,
of
it's
mixed.
number-
number 2? Number 2?
All right, so then what is number 2? What is number 2?
Not that.
Here's the problem. I don't think Thor Ragnarok is a number 2 movie. I'm
I
gonna
don't
say it.
either.
I don't
I
think Thor
don't
Ragnarok
either.
is 2. So what is 2?
Now, hold on. What if, okay, once again, we're going to rock the boat here with a suggestion. What if we move Endgame to number 2?
You always wanted this. You always
Winter
wanted
Soldier
this.
number
Finally
3,
got what
Thor
he wanted. This
Ragnarok
son of
number
a
4.
you son of a.
What do we think about this right here? I'm not hearing a no. This is my compromise.
You monster. How dare you?
I will accept this. I will accept Endgame as number 2. I am here to bargain.
How did
I
this
am here to
happen?
bargain.
Ah.
The delegation of that bronze girl accept your bid to put Endgame at number 2 with the provision that the order of 3, 4, 5, and 6 be changed
Oh,
to Ragnarok, Shang-Chi, Guardians, Winter Soldier.
wow. You're going to push Winter Soldier
Or
back
sorry,
4 spots?
wait. I
3
messed that up.
spots?
Ragnarok, Guardians, Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi. That's what I meant to say. This is my provisional. The delegation of that bronze girl of Hotel Bronze will support Hotel JP with Endgame at number 2 if my provisions are met.
So you're saying Ragnarok is 3?
Yes, wait, what did I say? Ragnarok, Guardians, Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi.
I will accept that if we only swap Winter Soldier. Fuck, I don't think Winter Soldier's worse than Ragnarok. That's tough. That's a tough one for me.
The Cox delegation will accept Thor Ragnarok at number 3 if Captain America sits at number 4.
I'm okay with those swapping.
Okay.
And I'm okay with that.
The Cox delegation would like to request that we once again relook Guardians versus Shang-Chi. Thank you.
That one's tough, man. That one's
I would
so
like to
tough.
point out that the delegation of that bronze girl posits that Guardians and Winter Soldier should be swapped yes, the bronze girl supports the Jesse Cox. Those should be swapped.
Shang-Chi and Guardians are actually kind of similar.
Yes, I think Guardians
they're
is
so
probably actually a
similar
little
that I
better.
think that there might be a conversation that Guardians maybe bumps up above Shang-Chi.
I think Guardians. Shang-Chi.
I think
great.
Guardians and Winter Soldier should be switched.
I don't know about that.
The Cox delegation will allow you to have number 3 for Thor Ragnarok if we can keep number 4 as Captain America.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, so then we switch 5 and 6.
Solid. Done.
I'm okay with that. I think we
Cox
can do that.
delegation.
I must make concessions.
Accommodates.
I must also be flexible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with that.
This took years off my life. I don't know how I've argued so hard and somehow Endgame is still at number 2, chat.
That's the question that
I don't know.
that we don't
really
need to
don't.
revisit. Mephisto came in and did his magic there, and that's how it's number 2.
Because it shouldn't
The Cox
be.
delegation
It really
would like to
should not
question. The Cox delegation would like to question Ant-Man versus Doctor Strange for 11 and 12.
The bronze delegation would support the Cox delegation if Doctor Strange was placed above Ant-Man.
The Cox
better
delegation
villain.
agrees with the bronze delegation?
So you think Ant-Man and Doc Strange swap?
Yes.
I'm okay with
absolutely.
that. I got Endgame at 2, so I'll take that concession.
Still blown away.
To further
that
bolster
Black
that
Panther
Endgame's
dropped
2.
to 13 on this list. Black Panther just
look,
got blopped down there.
I'm feeling very good so far. So if we do Ant-Man 13, Black Panther 12. I'm okay with that as well.
Agreed. The Cox delegation agrees.
Bronze. How do
I'm
we
sorry,
feel
what
about
was
that? Ant-Man and Black Panther swapping. Are you cool with that?
that? Yes.
Okay.
Black Panther was a good
I think
movie.
Black Panther 12.
Even though I said a lot of bad things about Black Panther, but I did love that movie. So. I'm still not happy.
Look, welcome to
Let's
democracy.
Let's do this. What is...
No one's gonna be happy.
Actually, no, I'm not. I was
except
about to
JP,
say...
except JP, who got his 1 and 2.
I mean, to be honest, Endgame would be 2 for me. Or Endgame would be 1 for me. But yeah, I'll take 2. I know that's a tough
You're
one.
out of your mind. Infinity War is the better movie.
Well, here's the thing. I was saying this earlier. Infinity War, I think, is the better movie, but my emotional response is that I don't want to admit that because it's such like a hard watch emotionally, right? Like it is truly The Empire Strikes Back. It's not a feel-good movie. The movie ends and you're just like, you motherfucker. Right? But I think that because it is so evocative of that feeling and it does it so well, that sure. I'm okay with it being number 1.
Can you go back to
I love
phase 3
this.
really
Why, when everyone is unhappy, it's a 2 compromise? Yeah. When everyone's miserable, that means we've all compromised.
It's true.
Yeah.
None of us is happy.
It's true. What are we looking at, Jesse?
5 and 6 on this. We have Black Panther higher than Doctor Strange.
That was a long point of discussion, if I recall correctly, for phase 3 on that very thing.
Man,
The Bronze delegation will not support the swapping of 11 and 12. The Bronze delegation has already made so many concessions today.
I am bowing out here unless Jesse has a strong argument for this.
The Cox delegation is fine. It's okay.
Okay.
We'll allow this.
Okay.
We'll allow it.
Now how the fuck did Homecoming end up at 7?
Homecoming, I love that movie.
I do
It's
too.
such a
Is
good
Homecoming
movie.
better than Iron Man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one's a little
Yeah.
tough for me. But it's not big enough to
mean,
like throw the
okay.
gauntlet down.
Homecoming is one of the few movies where the ending is actually like solid. Like the ending fight, the ending everything is actually good. One cannot say that about Iron Man.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
One cannot say that about Iron Man.
You're very
Iron
right.
Man's fantastic, but
You're very
Homecoming
right.
is one of the few films that actually stuck the last 30% of the movie. Whereas like Iron Man, as much as I love that film, as close as it is to my heart, I cannot believe it is not in the top 5. After rewatching it and Jesse pointing out that like, oh, the last fight is kind of dumb, I was like, oh yeah, no, it kind of is.
I think
like, it's the perfect-
Homecoming in the entirety of the MCU has the biggest gasp moment when that door opens.
Yeah.
There's no other
that's
moment
such a
in the
great
MCU
moment.
where you're just like, holy fucking shit. Apart from maybe
That
some
scene
like
where they're in the
post-credit
car
scenes.
together.
Yeah.
Like
It's so
a
tense.
good guy villain scene where they're like confined just having to talk is so rare in a comic book movie. Like when it isn't just like, now I will give you my evil machinations. It was just like, we're sizing each other up right now. Like that is
Here's the thing.
so good.
Here's the thing. The only moment that might top that are multiple moments from Endgame, and that's why it's number 2.
I feel like, I mean, look, I'm not even going to argue about it anymore. However,
JP,
I would
you are
like
drawing
to say,
so much attention to Endgame being on number 2. I want you to know you're working against yourself right now.
No, because it's not
snuck
moving.
in.
It's not moving. We're not moving it.
You snuck it in, and now you keep poking holes in your own
This is just
shit.
this is just a victory lap here at this point for me, guys.
the Cox delegation would like to make a change.
Oh God, I thought we were almost out of here.
Although the leader of our group, the illustrious Jesse Cox, loves Captain America First Avenger.
Okay.
I think that it probably is not better than Doctor Strange or Black Panther.
You know, I wasn't going to pick that fight, but I do agree.
I would agree
think it should be 10.
It's
I
pretty
think it
high.
should be 12.
We want to push it down 12 like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie, but I think Doctor Strange and Black Panther are better.
I think that's a good change.
They have that.
Yeah.
They're more polished. You know, Captain America was in that weird, like, we're figuring this shit out phase.
Yeah.
So
Now here's a question.
Okay,
Actually, no.
Jesse,
Captain America's better than
how
Ant-Man.
would you feel? How would the delegation of Jesse Cox feel about swapping 4 and 2?
But having
Winter
Endgame
Soldier
be-
swap with Endgame? I think that was what we already did.
It's what
the
we
other
it's what we
way.
had
Yeah,
originally.
Yeah, we'd be
Okay,
swapping
never
it
mind.
back.
Let's not
And here's the thing,
reopen this can of worms.
The Jesse delegation would be fine with it. However,
The JP
I
delegation would break, I think. Yeah.
The
They
It
JP
would,
just
it would
need
change a
to-
lot of
would-
things. We would
yeah.
have to go. I'd have to go back on some old votes here. I'd have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
check the books.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No,
question. The Cox delegation would like to address the issue of number 14. Do we think that's where Civil War belongs?
You know, that it is one of those ones that I think can move up a couple slots for me.
I would put Civil War higher than Ant-Man.
I would put it higher than the first Avenger.
I would too.
I would
Actually,
too.
I would put it at 12. Yeah.
It wasn't the most fantastic movie, but I loved
It was
Zemo
fun.
and I loved that end fight with
Yeah,
with,
they nailed
with
the
Bucky
end fight.
Cap
The 2v1 was
fighting
incredible.
Iron Man.
It's iconic
And
shots.
it has my favorite scene of all time. It's when they break Iron Man's heart with the shield. That was I was like, y'all, because I love symbolism. But that's also why Iron Man sits where it does for me. Because so many people say, oh, Tony Stark is just a guy in an iron suit, and they completely miss the point of what his character is and how he defeats the warmonger guy is I think, no, that's just a guy in an iron suit. This is a scientist. This is somebody who's a problem solver. So as much as we shit on that ending, I do like that he kills him by dropping him from an insane distance. But then he survives, doesn't he? And that's where
he
the
survives, and they have a fight where Pepper blows him up or some shit.
Which is so dumb. Dumb because I feel like no, he should just drop and die. This is where you lose because
like
you
a normal person would.
Yeah, because this is a intelligence issue. He's smarter than you.
The Cox delegation would like to remind the Bronze delegation that talking about symbolism while also mocking the ending of Black Panther is an atrocious assault to the Cox delegation sensibilities. They were fighting in the vibranium mines for the future of Wakanda.
The Bronze delegation does not give a fuck
suits.
because that scene was fumbled in its execution.
They were fighting for the soul of the nation. In the nation's heart, the mines itself.
I'm starting to look at the end of this list and I think I'm thinking too long on it. And now I'm just maybe we should just call it here.
JP, we are not touching the end. Anything under 15 is not being touched now.
Yeah, 15 and below, the last 10
Oh
we
God,
can't touch.
not this. Please, JP, no.
It is canonized. We can't touch anything.
Turn on your filter. Turn on your filter. You are being evil right now.
I mean, I'm just looking. I'm not saying anything. I'm just looking.
What are you looking at?
Some of these I don't know. I'm not even gonna say. I don't even know if I want to. I'm still thinking. The end of the list gets a little I think the end of the list for me is more complicated than the top of the list.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I think Black Widow might be better than Thor. I think Captain Marvel might be better than Iron Man 2 and 3. I think Guardians.
You know what?
I think Guardians
Black
might
Widow
be
is
better than Far
Thor.
From Home. Guardians 2 might be better than Far From Home. I think
Black
Far
Widow's
From Home might
definitely
be
better than
20
Thor.
ish. I don't know how Far From Home's 15.
Actually, I think Far From Home just snuck in.
Yeah, I think that one just somehow got to 15 and we were like, yeah, that's fine.
Black Widow's definitely better than Thor, for sure. Absolutely.
Yes.
Cox delegation agrees with that.
Yes, I would also. Bronze delegation will also vote.
What? out of 16 through 25, what's better than Far From Home? I think a lot is.
I would
Guardians
say
is better.
Guardians, yeah. I would say Guardians is better.
That's all I would say.
Yeah, same.
I would say Ultron's better than Wasp.
I would agree with that. The Cox delegation agrees.
The Bronze delegation second.
And I think Captain Marvel's better than Iron Man 2 and 3.
No!
Ooh, the Cox delegation abstains from this vote.
I would actually argue that I can't say it. Chad will kill me.
I
would
say Captain Marvel's worse.
No, I would say Iron Man 2 is better than Ant-Man and Wasp.
Iron Man 2 has some fun scenes. You are not wrong about that.
It does.
The Cox delegation will agree because, again, the Cox delegation, all of us fell asleep during Iron Man and the Wasp. Or not Iron Man and the Wasp, but Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, yes, of course.
Okay.
At least I've seen and I remember what happens in Iron Man 2. So,
okay,
yes.
so Iron Man 2 is at 18. The Bronze delegation is happy with this arrangement.
Looking at it.
I think my delegation, the JP delegation, just wants to test his power and say that Hulk is better than Thor Dark World.
The JP delegation is insane.
Okay. All right. I retreat my statement.
I was gonna hold up. I was gonna agree with you, but then remember I told y'all that it's the graphic novel that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Like I do.
You're about to go against your own argument.
Yeah. Because I do think the Hulk is better than Thor: The Dark World, but I also feel like it just shouldn't be here. So that tells me that
it's true. Yeah.
And look at the way it sits. Like everything else is in a perfect like cube, and then it sits
by
like,
itself.
You need to understand. I just want to slice it off. Like I want you to just scroll up, and then we just pretend like it's not there. You know, because it doesn't even. It even ruins how perfect our little rectangle is. You know.
Okay. I'm okay with these listings. I don't have any strong opinions on anything. It's all just minor stuff. Just like one or two swaps, which I think is going to happen.
The Cox delegation would like to inquire.
Okay.
Where do you think Loki fits into this?
Well, that's the question. Now we have to have this conversation. Where are we putting the Disney Plus shows into this whole thing?
Two.
Damn, Loki at 2.
So then the question is, yes, we're putting it into this thing. We're putting the Disney Plus shows into the full list. Because if that's the case, then we're going to have a show next week.
I always lobbied
because Barry didn't get it set up just yet, so we'll have the.
I always lobbied for them to be on their own.
Yeah.
I think that's fine, but then that just makes it really easy because there's no competition between the 3 shows that exist.
Loki's
unless
number 1.
We include Netflix.
Yeah, I kind of think you have to. I personally think that we need to bring in the Netflix shows because they'll shake up the top 20, and the Disney Plus shows because they're going to shake up. At least Loki will shake up the top 5, and the other shows will break up the teens. And so I think we have to bring all of them in.
The Cox delegation would like to ask the other delegations to consider, where does Iron Fist go on this list?
That's the thing. It shakes up the bottom. And I think that's next week's show. Because then we also bring in the Punisher. And we bring in Daredevil. And we bring in Jessica Jones.
Oh,
and we bring in Luke Cage.
Time out. Whoa, time out.
We got to go season by season then. Because that's...
all right. I was about to say. Yeah.
Then that's real fucking crazy.
Because season 1 of Jessica Jones is
amazing.
There's a very large gap between that and
season 2.
Then, here's the thing.
Poo-poo.
Here's the other thing. If we do that, we're bringing in 7 seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you guys haven't even seen that.
No. We draw the line, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, we're not. No one is bringing
we draw the line
seasons.
there.
I mean, then we got to bring in Runaways and Cloak and Dagger.
No, the line is drawn. The line, to quote Captain Picard, the line must be drawn here and now. We cannot do that. No further.
Then we got to bring in Agent
spent
Carter
so
or
much
Agent
time-
Carter.
You spent so much time asking if you could do it that you did not stop to ponder if you should, JP.
Well, I'm just saying for next week, what are we adding to this list? Netflix shows, Disney Plus
let's
shows.
Just do a separate list for just shows, and we'll put Netflix and Disney Plus in there. And because TV's a different
if
format.
we want to, we can add.
I think you
combine
have
them.
Okay, but I think you have to bring them into the overall.
Sure, but let's first start with the TV list, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I will inform the man behind the scenes to just add.
Technically speaking, we have to wait for the new Spider-Man film to really ascertain what is canonical to the MCU.
That's true.
Before we make such a ranking.
Are we gonna have to rate all the Spider-Man? That's easy.
What? All Spider-Man movies? Or
Yeah,
all
that's
Spider-Man
not even hard. I was about to say, oh wait, never mind. That's not hard.
Well, yeah, I guess going by this list, it would be Homecoming 1, Far From Home. No, I think it's hard actually. Spider-Man 2 better than Far From Home.
Venom may also be in the ranking if one looks at the canon.
Yeah, no, it would be there. Just be really far down the list.
Canon. I know, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's going to be high in the list. I'm just saying,
Into the Spider-Verse, is that
number one? Easy number one.
Again, you got to bring in all the stuff. I'm going to hit submit your rankings.
That movie.
I'm going to submit our rankings. I'm doing it.
All right, submit it.
Submit it. Okay, it's been submitted.
I can't wait for your, I'm sure, wholesome feedback. I can't wait for everyone to leave comments and let us know how
we're unqualified to do this show, and link other people's channels under and say, look at this video, because you can't come up with your own opinion, so you link someone else's video and take that as your opinion. Yeah, no, I'm very excited for those comments.
I, for one, welcome your links because, frankly, that is algorithmic heaven.
It's true. It's true. That's accurate.
Connect us to all those other people you think are better. That will only work out good for us.
It's accurate.
Thanks, friends.
It's 100% true. Well,
this is hard. And it's hard enough with 3 people, but it's hard with 1. Like, I don't know how I would rank some of these, because they're all such different films with different scope.
All I'm saying is, you motherfuckers got played so hard. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
I know. Jax wrote, I'm so mad JP got Endgame into number 2, and I think on some level, me and Jesse are like, how did that happen?
I don't even know how it happened, if I'm honest. I could act like this was all planned.
I'll tell you how it happened. We just don't know where else to put it. That's literally
You're not
it.
Wrong.
We pulled that book off the shelf and we're like, this book wasn't that good. Where do we put this? And then you were like, I got a spot for it right here. And we were just so tired. We were like, you know what? That's fine.
Oh, wait. What is wrong with phase 3 order? Someone's saying we need to fix this. Are you saying we need to change? No. This is our phase 3 order because this is what we decided upon at that point in time. If that's what you're saying.
And then JP conned us. And now it's number 2. Don't ask questions. If anything, leaving it the way it is the perfect example of how we ended up where we're at.
It's true. It's true.
We got WandaVisioned.
I don't even know. We'd have to roll back the tape on how it happened because I couldn't tell you. Anyways, I think that's it for today's show. Next week's show, we'll be talking about those. I was about to say Shang-Chi. We'll be talking about those Eternals comments from the Red Hot Carpet tonight that will be streaming live on the Disney Twitter. Can't wait. It'll be real. The stars are coming out today in Elliewood? What? In LA.
In old Elliewood. This is not Hollywood. It's
true.
Branson, Missouri on Elliewood Avenue.
And we'll be talking about that next week, as well as, I guess, ranking our Disney Plus and Netflix shows. Maybe as a group, maybe as distant collections, and then maybe as a whole thing. I don't know. We'll see. It'll be a doozy. For now, though, we're gonna do some shout outs and call it a show. Miss Bronze, you want to do some shout outs? Tell people where they can check you out. What do you got going on? I don't know why are we laughing?
Hi, hello. I'm that bronze girl. I just beat Back for Blood on veteran difficulty, and I'm gonna be diving into Nightmare soon. I'm dead inside after this ranking, so you shall catch me truly in a hell of my own making, of my own construction. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at ThatBronzeGirl, on Twitch at ThatBronzeGirl, where I stream 6 days a week. I just wrapped a project in LA, and that'll be announced mid-November, so keep an eye out for that.
Nice.
Also, if you're a fan of the Extra Credits channel on YouTube, I am GMing a game of Vampire for them for Vampire's 30th anniversary on the World of Darkness channel. That's 2 days from now on Wednesday. So come check that out. And yeah, that's me.
Awesome stuff. Mr. Jesse Cox, do some shout outs.
Hey. Hi everyone. If you like the scary stuff this week, tomorrow, I can't show it to you yet. But tomorrow, I'm allowed to post stuff for the new game by my favorite video game auteur, Daniel Mullins. The new game Inscription comes out tomorrow, and it looks so good. Very excited. It's gonna be wild. I can't wait. It's like a card game, but a horror game, but also an escape room. Don't know what the hell. I'm blown away. I'm ready for it. And then if you want to see JP and I interview the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Yoshi P, it has sparked many a meme. So go watch that interview. It's up on the channel. I think JP, you even have a VOD of you with it. So
yeah,
do whatever makes you happy. Watch it wherever you want. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just going through and
Is that it,
doing
Jesse?
stuff. I
Is
got
that
some
it?
live shows coming up. I got
Is that
on
really
Wednesday. On Wednesday, you can watch Bronze and I play D&D together.
What else can you watch that we did together? Speaking of friends that make games. Yep.
Can't think of. No, I'm kidding. Of course, right now, even though I think the sale ended yesterday, Max Gentleman Sexy Business had its DLC release, and you can find this lovely lady in the game playing the. Now, look, I'm not saying that in this game there's a vendor who sells you dirty things, and it's me, but also there's another vendor, and it's Bronze. And we're both, I'm just saying, like, if the two vendors got together, they could have a monopoly on vending, but, like, one of them is playing hard to get. Either way, it's great. It's, and you should go pick it up right now. Max Gentleman Sexy Business is a tycoon-style dating sim. So if you like corporate takeovers and scorn dates, it's the game for you. So that is out as well. The DLC just came out. So, and it's free. So there you go. Yeah, all that stuff is happening. And more to come on the video game side. Wink. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, no. You got your number 2, and now you're evil.
It took 25 weeks or something like that. But the evil plan was finally hatched. Endgame is number 2, y'all. It happened.
Look at the glasses glint. Jesus fucking.
It reminds me of Elijah Wood from Sin City. I got it like a big Elijah Wood vibe right now. That sounds really weird as well. Anyways, we got Jesse. You were talking about Inscription. We've got the influencer strategist over from Devolver Digital, Clara, coming on Drop Frames this week. We're going to be talking about Inscription and kind of her job in indies in general. It'll be an indie show, as Zeke is calling it, or I guess as I'm making Zeke call it. We'll probably have a 4th person there as well, but it's not 100% set in stone just yet. And then Path of Exile League starts Friday, and we've got news and trailer times every day between now and then. And then we'll be back next week with more MCU Crew, and maybe less of this filter. This filter is really scary. We never actually saw Jesse in this filter. Does Jesse have a hotel filter?
Yeah, it's hot pink. Neon.
It's hot pink?
Yeah. And it says like room rentals 1 hour.
Like that?
Like room by the hour. Oh yeah. Then I shall have the power of the Infinity Stones.
There we go. There we go. Not bad. Not bad.
Something's wrong, Mr. Wonka. This gum tastes like blueberries.
It does look like that.
Nobody.
Have you ever do you costume
Violet,
up?
you're turning violet. What?
Do you
Sorry.
costume up for Halloween, Jesse? Do you
Do
get
I
all dressed
costume
up?
for Halloween?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. Why?
You're
Depends
gone
on
as
if I
an
do
Oompa
anything.
Loompa?
Here's the thing. I would go as an Oompa Loompa if I had a crew of Oompa Loompas.
That's
It
yeah.
doesn't make any sense if you go by yourself. But if you have like a crew of like friends who are all Oompa Loompas, and then you rehearse a song, holy shit, that would be the best.
That's how
group.
you enter the party. Is the
Yeah.
3 plus of you all together?
We are coming to the party. Boop, 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 boop. Oompa Loompa, nobody dee. I'm here for beer, so give one to me. Right? You do like a whole thing, and then you just like everyone rolls in and flips in and stuff.
Be great.
I'm just saying, I would only do it if I had a crew. Yes.
It'd be great. It'd be a good time. It'd be a good time.
What do you get when you eat nacho chips? Right? You could do a whole thing. It would be wonderful.
Sounds like a fun party. I'd go to that party. Be super fun. Anyways, that's it for MCU Crew this week. We'll be back next week, as always, every single Monday at the crack of dawn for Jesse and Bronze. Thank you guys for getting up at 9 a.m. your time, or even, I guess.
9 a.m. is the crack of dawn?
I mean, for you guys, I think it's early. That's when I'm getting up my time, which is 7 your time.
I know that, the fans probably wants to go to like a TwitchCon and do a show live. What if we went to Amsterdam and then just didn't go to the con, but instead hosted it at like Jorgen's Barbecue and Weed Emporium, and then we really got into it? We're like, you know what I think about Marvel? Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
I don't. Travel's kind of maybe. We'll see.
That's 2020. That's 2023. 2022. 2022. Oh my God. What year is it? How did we get here?
I don't know. We're going to go have an existential crisis, y'all. We'll be back next week. We're out of here. Bye-bye.